we're the Stream of Wisdom, Rochester, right? And I know it's 8:19, so we're trying to do the tech work behind the scenes, get that right. But we're gonna go straight into the class. And as you see on the title for the class, it says Bible Basics, right? Understanding vows, and that's important. Bible basics are very important because you can send out the link for Dash. Bible basics are very important simply because like we were talking about yesterday with Mary lay with Joseph, right? The church, the world, because it's the church and the world, and the church is a byproduct of what they picked up from the world. Because our people didn't know anything. They don't know. They have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. So they're going by what they hear in the theologian school. They thinking that they're certified just by going to theologian school, going to all these Christian colleges like TCU. TCU is a Christian college, isn't it? TCU. Texas Christian University. I think so. Right? What's the other one? Notre Dame. They think because they're going to these theologian colleges and schools that they're certified in God's word now. Like Esau certification is the way to understand God, but that's not accurate. That's not true, right? We're figuring out that we've been lied to, and among us being lied to about who we are and who are God's people, truly, we've been lied on how to even understand and how to worship and how to show obedience to the Father. So basically, how to fear God. We ain't been taught how to fear God. When you hear the word fear, a negative emotion pops up. Right, a negative thought pops up in context to the worldly experience of it, right? But we don't separate the two. Like, okay, that fear of the world, we're supposed to let that go. Right. But now we're dealing with the fear of the Most High, which is to what? Honor, respect. Right. Yep. It is mingled with that little fear to not do wrong because you don't want to disappoint him. And you know that wrong will lead you into trouble yourself. So we're going to go through those Bible basics, which is understanding vows. Right, which is a very important subject. So let me get this up on the screen. Oh, there we go. Vows. So tonight's class is titled Bible Basics, Understanding Vows. So let's go straight to the first point. We kind of was going into this last Friday offline, but being that brothers and sisters online weren't here, we want to start off from the very top so everybody can be on the same page. So let's go to this first point. His first point is, we are in a covenant with the Most High. And you can write that down. We are in a covenant with the Most High. So let's go to when that covenant was established in, let's get the definition of covenant. Let's get the definition of a covenant. Right? So that's Genesis chapter 17, verse 19 is the first verse. There you go. Everybody here should have notes, so the readers should get there quick, right? God. So far, the introduction notes, right? So who got that definition of covenant? The definition of covenant, because that's important with understanding a vow. What we're going over. Go ahead.
Covenant. In agreement.
Oh, who?
In agreement.
Right.
Sorry.
Right, covenant. So we're trying to figure out what is a covenant. And a covenant is an agreement. And what we figured out is that the Most High made an agreement with Abraham, our forefather. We're going to read that. Read.
Covenant. A usually formal, solemn, and binding agreement.
A who?
Binding agreement.
So a covenant is a binding agreement. Read.
A written agreement.
A binding written agreement. Read.
Or promise.
Usually
under seal between two or more parties.
Right. And that more parties is us. Because the covenant that was binding with Abraham, we also agreed to it.
God.
And the Most High bounded us to it, to our forefather Abraham. But we agreed to it as well in the wilderness. We said, Amen. And we're going to get to that. But let's go to Genesis chapter 17, verse 19.
Genesis chapter 17, verse 19.
And the point is, again, just for somebody that might just be tuning in, we're going over a class titled Bible Basics, Understanding Vows. And the first point is, we are in a covenant with the Most High. And that's important, because then you understand about when you make, people will say promise, the word promise in the world, and they'll say, I promise, right? Or I got you, I'll be there. But we're going to figure out that that we have to be careful with what we say. We're going to figure that out as we go on, and just how important that is to the Father. Read.
And God said, Sarah, thy
Where we
wife,
at?
Genesis chapter 17, verse 19.
Right? And we are in a covenant with the Most High. Genesis chapter 17, verse 19. Go ahead.
And God said, Sarah, thy wife, shall bear thee a son indeed.
So this is the Most High informing Abraham. Informing Abraham that his wife was going to bear a child. But why? Why did the Most High send a messenger to deliver this message to Abraham? Why was this so important? Why was this such a significant moment? Read.
And thou shalt call his name Isaac.
Right?
And I will establish.
I will what?
I will establish.
I will establish, read.
My covenant with him.
My binding agreement with him. And that binding agreement is dealing with the laws. It's dealing with the word, the testimonies. Right? Let's go on just to a point that highlights this. Go to Romans chapter 9. Right? All the things that fall into the category of the covenant. Right? With Israel. Romans chapter 9. Let's try to get that real quick. To whom pertaining? Where it says to whom pertaining.
Romans chapter 9, verse 4.
Just to figure out all the things that fall in line with this covenant. Go ahead.
Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption.
Because the Most High made a covenant with our forefathers.
Yep.
Right? Because Abraham had multiple children, but he chose Isaac to make that covenant with. And we find out the covenant is a binding contract. But we're going to find out how long did that binding contract exist for. Right? Was it for a moment or for forever? So, but what's in that? What's in the goodie bag? Right?
And the glory.
So the covenant, which is the binding contract, we're in contract with the Most High. We're in a lifetime contract, matter of fact. Read.
The adoption and the glory.
The adoption, we sin, we fall away. The Most High does what? Show us mercy and saves us back. Reconciliation. Read.
And the covenants.
And
the giving of the law.
Right. All the agreements that the Most High said. All the things he said in Deuteronomy. If you live right, I bless you. You live wrong, you get cursed. Yeah. Right? Read.
And the service of God. And the promise.
And we get the services of God. So when you make your prayers and you're in the right spirit, you're in the right mind, the Most High can acknowledge you. But when we're not in the right spirit, we're not in the right mind, the Most High won't acknowledge our prayers. Right? You want the mental stability, you can't get it unless you fight for it the way the Most High is telling you to get it. If we try to skip his steps, we won't obtain it. But he wants to do the service. That's a part of the contract. So the Most High is going to uphold his part. Right. He's just telling us we got to do our part as well. So read that.
Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Yahushua came, right? Who is over all. God bless forever. Amen.
Right. And Yahushua came for us. But all those things are a part of this covenant that he spoke about with Abraham. The services of God, the adoption, the covenants, right? The reconciliation, the adoption, all these different things, they fall in line with it. But that comes also with the law, right? The law is within that covenant, and with this, and that things that come with us being able to be attached to the Father. All these things are in that binding contract. So let's jump back to it.
Genesis chapter 17, verse 19.
All right, we're going over the Bible basics, understanding vows, and we're at Genesis chapter 17, verse 19, just about we are in a covenant with the Most High. Go ahead.
And God said, Sarah, thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed.
Right.
And thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him.
Right. Everything we just went over. And us having to keep the law.
Right.
That's within the contract. Read.
For an everlasting covenant.
But it also goes to expound that this is everlasting. Yeah. So this is persistent through all the generations. So there is no lifetime where you can say this is the cutoff point. Right? It's not like you have a 6-year contract with a music agency, and then now you got to do what? Revisit and talk about the contract all over again. Right? This ain't to your apartment. You got to get you got to release your apartment. You got a year lease, or 2-year lease, a 3-year lease, and then now they over here reconvene. I don't know about that, and they give up on you quick. Yeah. You broke a wall, you messed up the stove. They done came in there and fix your toilet about 20 times in a year. You're like, oh, you gotta get this guy out of here. The Most High is not like your landlord. He's not gonna give up on you. But we the ones that be switching up. But the Most High is showing us that we're not able to. Because we're in a binding contract that's everlasting, so it doesn't switch up. So the Most High is showing us his dedication and his consistency and his consistent love with us. Now, this ties in with showing us about vows in the sense of what? That it's a law. Right? And this is something that we're supposed to keep doing throughout the generations.
Right.
Read, all right? Go ahead.
And with his seed after him.
And with his seed after him. So that it's not just with Isaac, it's not just with Jacob, it's not just with Abraham, it's with all the children. It's with all of us. It's with all the tribes. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher. It starts with everybody. So we're all a part of this covenant. We all are binded to keeping this contract and following this agreement that we made and our forefathers made with Abraham. With the Most High, excuse me. Right, let's go to Leviticus chapter 26, verse 42. Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 42. So this point is to establish with us that this is a binding contract that we cannot just disannul. Right? We can't just disannul and throw it to the side. Like, you can't just give up on it like you gave up on your job. Right? We can't just give up on it like you gave up, like you just up and disappeared on your basketball team. Right? You can't just up and disappear. You up and disappear on your game. One day you was a blood, the next day you was a crib. Right? Then one time you was a 5%er, then you transform into an Egyptologist. It's not like that.
God.
Right? I'm a Muslim, but I'm one of the Muslims that like to do what? Put orange dust on my beard. This not a sect thing. You can't pick and choose with the Most High. You can't pick and choose what you want to do and what you want to commit to.
God.
So that's what the Most High is showing us here. So let's read that Leviticus 26 chapter and 42nd verse. So the title of the class is Bible Basics, Understanding Vows. And we're at the point where we're talking about we are in a covenant with the Most High. We read Genesis chapter 17, verse 19. We read Romans chapter 9 and verse 4 or 3. Oh, Kadash.
4.
We read Romans chapter 9 and verse 4.
9 and 4.
Just to show what's in that covenant.
Go back.
God.
No, you don't got to go back. Right? Just to show that what was in that covenant. And now we're at Leviticus chapter 26, verse 42 to establish even more information with brothers and sisters about this covenant. Read.
Leviticus chapter 26, verse 42. Then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac.
So it's showing us the structure. It's showing us who he established it with.
Yep.
Right? Who he kept communicating that what this covenant is going to come into, is going to be enacted. Right? It's going to come into fruition.
Yeah.
Read.
And also my covenant with Abraham.
So it started off with these three men.
Yep.
Read.
Will I remember, and I will remember the land.
Right. Because mind you, this is the book of Leviticus, so we're in the wilderness. So the Most High reads us, he's reestablishing the laws, the culture, the customs, the traditions, the way of life to us because we was amongst the Egyptians for so long. Yeah. So we learned their habits. Right? Egyptians want bald head, I want a bald head. Rick Ross got a full set of hair, but what are you doing? He got a bald head for no reason. Right? And then you got our brother, he got a full set of hair. You didn't know that, right? Yeah, I learned that a couple years ago. I didn't even know my uncle had a full set of hair until 2 years ago.
Listen, what's the rapper that's in jail right now?
Who?
What's the rapper?
Tory Lanez.
Tory Lanez.
Yeah.
Right, Benjamin. Full set of hair.
Right.
We gotta.
He got a little, and not to where he can still keep his hair. He got little spaces, little aces and spades, but
he's wearing it in prison now.
God.
He's wearing it in prison.
He got enough to where you keep. It's a little faint, but it's there. It's not like a brother that's like this side is empty and then this side full. God. Nah, he got a little space. I got 2 patches in the back. Boom, boom. But you don't see that I got afro.
No, I was gonna say Tory Lanez was bald. He got them implants.
Implants?
Yeah, he got implants like LeBron James did.
Oh, he was bald.
Yeah, he was bald.
Oh, he did surgery.
He did surgery.
Oh, there we go. So,
Yikes.
well, now he's just breaking the law. What do you do? We put cells. He said, huh?
Hair transplants.
Like, is it real? Hair?
Yeah, it's growing.
The same hair from.
Oh, it's growing.
Yeah, it grows from. I don't know how they do it, but.
That's weird.
It's like a growing organism or something like
But-
that.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about that later. That's a sidebar. But we see this, right? So he started off with Abraham. He spoke about it. He said he's going to be establishing it with Isaac, but it's going to come through Isaac's seed where that blessing is going to start to come into play, where the covenants are being established and the Most High is establishing the people through brother Jacob, our forefather Jacob. Let's go to Exodus 24:7. Exodus 24 verse 7. But the key part in this is that while we're going to this is we're understanding that it was established with our forefathers, but well, I wasn't there. I didn't agree to that. I ain't had nothing to do with that. That's a couple thousand years ago. I wasn't even thought of. I didn't even know about no Abraham till I ran across brothers in the street. Till I was on YouTube. But what the Most High had to say to that? Read.
Exodus chapter 24, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
And he took the book of the covenant.
He what?
He took the book of the covenant.
So it's written down at this point. Because remember, our people so diagnosed with, not diagnosed, but they're influenced with Egyptian culture, right? They got Isis, Horus, and Ra in their head, right? And sun gods and homosexuality and all these different things. Men lying with men, women lying with women, man lying with his mom. You got all that going on over there. So they're picking up that bad behavior, those bad habits. So think about it. They fight Moses in the wilderness just to keep that golden calf. So the Most High is trying to cleanse the mind of the people. But what did the people agree to then? That still persists now. Read.
And read in the audience of the people.
Right. And he took the book of the covenant and did what?
And read in the audience of the people.
And he read it in the audience of the people. So he expounded. He was teaching. He was explaining to them the requirements that the Most High has. And one of those requirements that we're going over tonight is what? The vows. So we're going to go in detail just about what the vow requires of us. Because the vow is a law. And there's laws on how to apply the vows, how to look at them, right? How to conduct yourself when you commit to a vow, right? And the carefulness to not just rashly say, I'm going to commit to something. So the Most High is about to show us that, but he read the book clearly, just like it's being done now. You're being taught now about the vows, the humility, the sacrifice, the commitment, the how to worship Christ, the what's adultery, what's lying, what's laziness. You're getting taught all these things in detail, just like what they were doing back then. It's being read in the book of the audience. The book is being read in front of the audience. Read.
And they said, all that the Lord has said, we will do.
And they said, all that the Lord has said, we will do. And do what?
And be obedient.
And they say basically, amen. They said, I agree. I'm going to follow. I'm going to do the will of the Lord. Let's go to Romans chapter 1, verse 28. Right? Romans chapter 1, verse 28. Because we know that didn't just happen with our people, right? We done been in a bunch of slaveries, we done been in a bunch of captivities, and we done been messed up a bunch of times, but we also been saved a bunch of times. So what behavior have we been picking up and following after with the nations and giving ourselves up to? Read that.
Romans chapter 1, verse 28.
And
even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge.
But that's what we was doing the whole time. As we got the clarity of what a vow is, what marriage is, what how to worship, how to move in the Spirit of Christ is, we kept doing what? Not liking to do what?
Did not like to retain God in their knowledge.
But they weren't going back home and studying. They weren't going back and asking questions. They weren't going back and counseling and communicating to do what? To establish it in their heart. So that they don't stutter step with the wisdom. And stutter step meaning what? You don't be confused. Right? You don't imbalance or apply it the wrong way or look at it from one perspective, which is your perspective. But you look at it in the totality of what the scripture's saying. So what spirit do we move in? Read.
God gave them over to a reprobate mind.
And they start what? They start walking in the imagination of their own heart. Like our people do now. Right? You give them the word. There's people that know the truth now, but then they still doing what? Calling themselves African. Right? I'm an African Hebrew Israelite. That don't make sense. There's people that know the word now, it's still what? It's still selling dope. Yeah, I know, man, but I got to get it. Right? There's people that know it now, and then they think it's okay to sell dope while doing it. God know and they still do the Christian thing. God know my heart. There's people that know the word now, and they don't want to retain the way that God is telling us to function. And one of those ways is about keeping our word, right? Being careful what we say, and learning how to keep that vow. So read on.
Being filled with all unrighteousness.
Right? Because they give themselves over to it. Because the Most High don't tempt us with evil. You give yourself over to it. Read.
Fornication. Wickedness.
Read.
Covetousness.
Right.
Maliciousness. Full of envy.
Jump to verse 31.
Verse 31. Without understanding.
Why? Because they don't want to retain the word of God in their heart. They're fighting against it. They're fighting against the way the Most High is saying a vow is supposed to be orchestrated. Read.
Without understanding. Covenant breakers.
And that's the word I want out there. Covenant breakers. Showing us what? There's some, obviously brothers and sisters got to learn what it is to keep a vow. But there's brothers and sisters that didn't want to learn how to retain. Right? They didn't want to uphold the vow. They wanted to stutter step it. They wanted to look for loopholes. They wanted to do what? Make excuses. Right? Well, I understand that part. Right? And there's some people that don't understand, but there's a difference when you know you know. And you doing what? You're acting like you don't. And you acting like you don't know that you just broke a vow. Right? You just broke an agreement, a binding agreement.
Yeah, and the reason our people don't understand the importance, right? Or like the reason why you're bringing out the covenant is showing that it's important to the Most High,
right,
with us keeping the covenant with Him, our promises, the things that we set our mind to, right? I'm sure you want to go to Isaiah real quick. Go to Isaiah 1 in verse 28 because it goes right with it. Right, it shows the severity that the Father has with Israel, and a lot of our people. This might be what's going on with that, man? A lot of our people are going through it because they are breaking the covenant. Right? It don't matter. Well, I didn't really understood. No, you knew when you said I love the Lord. I love God. All you had to do was go to the Bible. Stop playing. You know you had those Sunday school classes that told you how to be moral. Yeah. Right? You know, on some level, right? Yeah. But the reason why I'm pulling this scripture, read this.
Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 28.
Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 28. Go ahead.
And the destruction,
right,
of the transgressors.
So the destruction of the transgressors, go ahead.
And of the sinners,
read,
shall be together.
So the Most High said He's going to kill those that do what? Go against His way. Go against His law. But what else? Go ahead.
And they that forsake.
And also they that do what?
Forsake.
The Most High is going to kill those that do what?
Forsake.
Read.
The Lord.
You hear that? What does forsake mean? To quit or to leave entirely. I no longer want to now keep my oath. Keep what I vowed. Right. Keep what I told the Father. Why do you think P. Diddy jacked up right now? Why do you think a lot of these celebrities that want to bear witness of the Most High's name but don't want to keep His ordinances and His ways, why do you think they're being handled the way they are today? We just, Tory Lanez locked up, shot Megan Thee Stallion, whatever, if that was real or fake. Right? What other popular people that say that they're followers of Christ? Diddy says he's a follower of Christ. It's all about love. Right. Christ and love. Let's keep the hate far away. Let's keep the hate, right? Just love. And what happened? These cats are being consumed. Yeah. The Most High is showing it like, nah, you're not bearing witness of what you said or who you said you were. You see this? So the Most High is holding us to that same accountability with what we say. Read it one more time.
And the destruction.
Y'all gotta hear this. Go ahead.
And the destruction.
Come on.
Of the transgressors.
Read.
And of the sinners.
And of the sinners. Read.
Shall be together.
Come on.
And they that forsake.
And they that forsake, leave. Right? Reject. Renounce. Abandon. Right? When you abandon the Father, when you stop moving as when you first came in, right? You're no longer studying like you used to because why? The requirements is too hard. You know, I don't feel like I'm able to, get to that level because you're lazy. You don't communicate to learn ways and strategies to better your life. So what do? Let me abandon what I started. Let me abandon what I told the Father that, listen, if you got me out of this jam, I'll give up everything to you, Yahweh. Right. I'll serve you, God.
Right.
And as soon as some hot water hits you, what happened? You got amnesia. You forgot your responsibilities.
Yeah.
You forgot the sisterhood. You forgot garments. You forgot all those things that we were doing in the spirit for Christ's sake, right? And for the example of others. And what happens? You abandon. The Most High said, if we forsake him, we will be consumed just like the transgressors and the sinners. Because why? Forsaking him is a sin. We're going to get into that. Right? Not upholding your vow is a sin. You can't bring the world logic here into the truth. You can't give us wolf tickets. You know, man, I want to be devoted and, I'm down. I'll die for the truth. But then when it comes now to live, you start to do what? I didn't know it was going to be all of that. No, yes, you did. Right? You did know, you knew it was going to be that. It's just the workings of it. You didn't feel like, or you didn't want to fight through it, right? You didn't want to use now the methods and the tools the Father gives us in this walk. So again, we got to be very careful because the Most High is not playing with now covenant breakers. Right?
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 13. Now that's right on point because when you think about that, you're in a binding agreement.
Right.
And a part of that binding agreement is the vow. So you naturally in a vow anyways. Right. Even if you didn't say, I'm a fast for 2 months, right? We naturally in a vow already to uphold the law, to uphold the law in anything, in every detail that's in it.
Right.
Like, because it's supposed to be there, like we read the definition yesterday, to regulate us.
Right. And it's no different. It's no different from your car note.
Right.
Don't pay your car note for a certain amount of time. They're going to do what? They're going to have to punish you. They want to come get that. No different from any other binding contract. I just read there was a boxer in England, right? So the boxer in England, I forget his name, something Junior. He's about to fight in a few cards, right? But he made a statement about a promoter. He called him a scumbag. It was a few white promoters that Judah now said something bold on live television. You know what happened? He said, well, he's going into a lawsuit. He said, because I sued him before for a breach of contract. But that was the point. They do it today. So why wouldn't we think the Father that created all things wouldn't do that to us? Oh, there's a breach in contract? I'm coming for you. Right? You vow, right. Chris Eubanks. Oh, he went in on Frank Warren, but mind you, he was telling the truth. But what did Frank Warren do? Well, you did something off in this contract. You didn't fulfill your agreement of what you said when you signed it, Aman. So now I have the ability to do what? To reap now whatever residuals I need. Same thing with the Father. He said, I'm not saying he's going to kill it on instinct, right? But we know the Father has to get some get back. There has to be something that now causes us to remember what we said, right? Yeah, Chris Eubanks, listen, that's 100,000. He's probably sad for him. Yeah. But it's nothing different from the world. So we're seeing that the Father, man, has made a contract with Israel. We can't run away from this. I don't care if you don't claim to be a Hebrew Israelite. Right. Man, you still under the covenant. Right. That's why when you go to Thessalonians, it says to the unbelieving Christ is going to kill, and also those that don't obey his word. Right? Or unbelieving and those that obey his word is Thessalonians. Right? So, Israel, we got to smarten up. But this is why this class is needed to understand vows. To really understand, when you say something, what that means to the Father. Right? And how serious he is on you fulfilling the things that you say. Right? And that's why it's in the law. Because the Most High knows. We said it yesterday with yesterday's class, right? The Most High knows we like to cap. We like to put off from day to day. So he does, we was talking about that today in the morning meeting. He already knows his people. He already knows he like to cap. Like, think about it. We was capping in the wilderness. Right. As soon as we got out of Egypt, we did what? We did a golden calf. He did a golden calf. So what was everybody's mind as they was walking through that open sea that was split open? It was in cap mode. You was in cap mode, but the Most High gave you a free pass so that you could get it right in the wilderness. And the Most High was trying to work on brothers and sisters in the wilderness. But they weren't in that moment. They were moving slow. They was moving from putting off from day to day. And so the Most High seen that, and he worked on that spirit. But that's why he had to make it a binding contract. That's why he didn't make it an optionary situation.
That's why he didn't make it optional. Oh, do you wanna, you're an Israelite, do you wanna keep the Feast of Tabernacles? You wanna keep that?
Is that okay with you?
No. No. It's not okay with the Most High, right? Because why? He's trying to get us to learn how to commit. It's for, we said yesterday, it's for our own safety. Read. Oh, who got the Deuteronomy 4:13?
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 13. And he declared unto you his covenant.
He what?
He declared unto you his covenant.
Nah, he didn't just say, hey, could you pass me the popcorn? And not eating and there's no popcorn in the house while you asking about it. But you saying pass me the popcorn and you mean, oh, I want something. Can you go to the store, grab some popcorn, put it in the microwave, and could you make it for me? Or could you cook it on the stove higher? Some people like to make it from scratch. But the Most High sat there, walked us through everything, right? He walked us through every part of the law, showed us every layer of it, so that we can really have a clear understanding, so that there's no confusion. So he said he declared. When he said declared, that's not like, oh, I just made a statement and just left you kind of knowing what's going on. He said, I declared. That was full understanding given. Read.
Which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments. And he wrote them upon 2 tablets of stone.
Right. Now it just what? It became not only just a verbal, a known verbal in the spirit was bound in heaven, is bound on earth covenant. Because we said it, right, to the Spirit of the Most High. We committed to the Spirit of the Most High, but it's also now become a thing where now it's written. It's written down so that your memory, you can't be like, well, what was that? Oh, you said if I don't want to do it tomorrow, I can change my brain? No. Let's go back and open up that book of the covenant, and let's see what the book of the covenant say about a vow. We're going to go through it, right? We're going to go through the book of the covenant. So, go to Baruch chapter 2, verse 30. Baruch chapter 2, verse 30. Right? Baruch chapter 2, verse 30. Oh, that was nice. Okay. No, you can drop it. You can drop it. Let's go to the next point. Let's go to the next point. What is a vow and its purpose? So this takes us into the next point. We know it's not just 10 commandments, obviously, right? So there's more than 10 commandments. But it's just speaking on those ones that's compacted together because it's like they're connected. You're doing one, it'll jump you into the other, right? So you got that?
Deuteronomy chapter 20.
So we're at the second point, and it says, what is a vow and its purpose? So this is Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 21.
God. Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 21. When thou shalt vow a vow unto the Lord thy God.
So when you shall vow a vow, and a vow is what? A solemn promise, right? It says careful to perform. So it's a solemn promise. And it's something that you have to be careful so that you can make sure that you're performing. So when you vow a vow to the Most High, read.
Thou shalt not slack to pay it.
Why? Because it's something solemn. And let's look at the word solemn. Look at the word solemn real quick. Solemn. Just to show you how, like he said, how serious the scriptures is and how serious of the Most High takes a vow. Because he didn't break a vow with us. 1,000 years later, and he's still saying he only loved Israel. Right? It's thousands of years later, and he still ain't let us disintegrate. And we're supposed to be dead because you got 3D meat, you got people feeding you rats, you got people feeding you damn bats, you got damn poison water, you got the damn water you take a shower with, the damn water you take a shower with, right? Yeah. That's damn messing up your skin. Fluoride, burning. That's you melting slowly, basically. You slowly melting. So your shield of defense for your skin is basically just being wiped away. Deteriorating. Yeah. But the Most High is still preserving us to where we can still say, black don't crack. We're still saying that. Oh. Yeah, we still saying black don't crack, right? Oh. No, we're still saying that. But the Most High is showing us that what? He's with us. He's with us, but he wants us to show the same love that he's showing. So when he's saying when you vow, don't slack to pay it. He's saying that because he already knows his people. we're lazy, right? When we're not in the, let me say it like this. When we're not in the spirit, we're lazy, we're double-minded, we're angry, we're frustrated, we're bipolar, we don't like to commit to anything, we don't like to do anything, we just want things given to us because, think about it, we're the chosen people. That's like in your genome to just know that. So you got this old entitled, we got this old entitled spirit. But he's like, no, you're not going to just treat me like you treat your job, like you treat the white man. You clock in when you want to, right? Or you clock in, you trying to get overtime, but you ain't doing no work. You sleeping on the clock somewhere hiding. You're not going to treat me like that. So he has us committing to things. And he wants to make sure that we're not slack to pay that thing. Who had the definition?
Solomon.
Just to show you how attentive he is to this and how much care he has about this when it comes to vows. Read.
Solomon. To be accustomed.
To what?
To be accustomed.
Accustomed. Read.
To use.
To use.
That is, to hold on or continue. Another one says, religiously serious. Poisely grave.
We know we don't deal with religion, but we know we're going to put the word, it's biblically serious. Right? It's biblically serious. Read.
It says, poisely grave, devout.
Right. It's something that you have to give great devotion to because it's serious. Because when you don't commit to things, then it affects your life.
Yeah.
It affects the people. It affects the nation. And we were saying it last Friday, but when we don't commit, when we don't stick to the things we commit, you start to make the person that you're like with your spouse, right? Or your family members. You're committed to things and then you're not doing it. That messes with their spirit. Messes with their conscience.
I think we was going pre-Zion brought up the scripture, deferred hope. I think okay. God.
Oh, right. Yeah. God. Oh, it's coming up. Right? Yeah, and we're not supposed to be slack to pay because you'll mess with somebody's conscience. That's why you got so much untrusting people in the world now because of that. Nobody commits to anything. That's the fatherless home. What does it do to the kids? It affects the kids. To where now they're trying to you're trying to build friendships with people, but you don't even know how to do it, and you're afraid to do it because why? You're thinking about the memory of your parents and how they treated you or didn't treat you, or they weren't even around, or they said they was gonna be around. Right. I remember I'm just personal experience, right, about this what we talking about, the example I'm using. But I remember my dad used to say he was gonna do a lot of things.
Yeah.
When he was little. He said he's gonna do a lot of things. Hey, listen. Papi, that's Levi. He said, hey, Papi, hey, I'm going to pick y'all up. And we're going to go to this place, that place. We're going to go shopping for this, that. Right? He's going to go shopping for professional wolf tickets. Right. And he had a master's degree in that. He was doing that. And I was like, hey, okay. You excited. And then it don't happen.
No call, no show.
No call, no show. And then you don't hear from him maybe like a month, 2 months later. Go ahead, you Ryan.
Nah, that's true because you counting I'll be getting the shoes, the clothes, and I'm going to the arcade game, man. Right. My favorite game is there, man.
He ain't put a budget scale on it this time? You can get what you want?
God.
Oh, you done?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that, but that was what that was. And that got to a certain point with him where he was like, he won the lottery. He called us up late night, about 12 a.m. in the morning. He's like, hey, listen, get ready. It's summertime. Hey, get ready. Tomorrow we're gonna go to the mall and y'all can get what you want. Everybody ready? Right. I'm looking at my
You know it.
I'm like, my sister and brother, they was still with it. They was hyped about it. They didn't lock into the cap yet. They didn't see the cap. And I'm looking at them. Okay. I don't want to see it. But that makes you what? That was right there. That was the trust being broken. That was the belief being broken on my part, right? But by his action. By his action, because he vowed a vow, but he what? He deferred from paying. Instead of making sure that, okay, I said this to the kids, let me go do it. Right? And it's vice versa with a parent. your parent tell you clean the room, you said, or you probably come. Sometimes kids be having that zealous spirit jump on for a day. Like, you know what, Mom? I'm gonna take out the trash. You ain't gotta worry about cleaning the kitchen. I'm gonna clean the kitchen. I'm gonna mop. And they'll jump ahead and say that. But then, you in the mode to do it anyway as a parent. But the kids don't do what they said they was gonna do because they got distracted by the video game. Yeah. Right? Or she on the phone all day, YouTubing, TikToking, talking to the friends, right? So-called friends, right? Then what happens? They don't end up doing what they thought they was gonna do when they said they was gonna clean the room. Or when you sat them down and have a conversation about them not doing it, and they said they was gonna do it, then they what? They ain't commit to it. They defer to pay. But that breaks your parents' confidence. I don't say the trust, because they know their kid's gonna do what? Foolishness is bound in the heart of the child. That breaks their confidence and think that you're gonna do it, so they have to do what? Stay on top of you. But you're like, I don't want to be treated like a kid. But you're causing your parent to have to stay on top of you. Because you're breaking that confidence and you being able to fulfill it and be mature. A young, mature teenager. Right? Or a young adult, right? So the Most High has to have them on top of you, but the Most High saying when you vow, this is why he's saying it's so serious, because you can mess up somebody's mind. You can if they're not in the spirit, you can mess up somebody's mind like that. You can mess up somebody's brain, and now you bringing evil suspicion in the land. Just like he said, don't prostitute your daughter yesterday in the law. You can bring evil suspicion in the land like that when somebody's feeble-hearted and somebody's faint-minded, where they don't have their minds not established and rooted on the scriptures to understand that people slip up. That can mess them up. So we have to be careful, like the Most High is careful with us to make sure he pays his vows. So read on.
From the top?
Yeah, read on from the top.
When thou shalt vow a vow unto the Lord thy God, thou shalt not slack to pay it.
Right.
For the Lord thy God will surely require it of thee.
He's gonna come looking for it. Yeah, you want to breach the confidence with the Lord where now he can't mess with you? Like, you know what? He's not gonna lose it, right? He's not gonna be suspicious. He's just gonna know that, I can't deal with this brother or sister on that level. They're not mature yet. All right, I can't deal with this brother or sister on that level. So what you're showing is that, okay, we can't give this brother or sister this responsibility. We can't put her over the activity box, right? Because her mind is not there. Right? She's not preparing herself to invest in it. She's not being creative with the goodie box. So how are you gonna spark the kid's mind if you're not being creative? If you just put Play-Doh in there, right, and you don't got nothing for them to do with the Play-Doh to make it fun, what's gonna happen? They gonna rip the Play-Doh and they get bored after a minute. And two. Because they kids. But if you ask them some Play-Dohs with some shape, what they call those little things? They use it in pastries where they create the shapes. Cookie cutter, right? Or the shape cutters.
Yep.
That makes it creative and fun. You make a little pizza, they got them making pizzas and all these different things. But then I can't put this sister over there because she's not thinking about those things. Right? Or the flyer brother. I can't put him over the flyers because he's not thinking about those things. He's not checking on a daily and mentally to put his mind mentally into making sure that the flyers is stacked. Right? I can't put him over these things because why? His mind ain't there. Because he's not gonna pay what he's vowing. And we're not even talking about finances. I know you hear the word pay, but it's not even talking about finances. It's talking about you, the person. You, the spirit. You're the physical body that has a spirit within them that the Most High wants to use. Because the Most High wants to use everybody, but he can't use somebody that don't like to pay their vows. You see that? Because you don't like to put your part of the investment in. So let's go to Ecclesiastes 18:22. Oh no, was that on that?
No, lie.
Okay, read it, my bad.
And it would be sin in thee.
And that's a sin. Point blank period. It blatantly say it. When you don't pay your vow, that's wrong. That's off. That's out the spirit. And it's showing it shows you, but obviously the Most High knows us, but it's showing you really where you at spiritually with your relationship with the Father. When you say I love God, it's showing you how much you really do love God. What basis, what level it's really at. It's at just the level like, I just know this is correct. But I don't want to do it. Right? But I'm telling myself, I know this is correct, but I'm too lazy to make myself get up and do it. Right? Or the pressure, like you said, the pressure getting too heavy. So the easiest thing for me to do is just quit. Because the Most High not executing judgment as quickly as he used to do it. Now I got some time, I got some grace, so let me spit on the grace. Now you're not saying I'm gonna spit on the grace, but that's what it is. It's spitting on the grace. And the Most High is like, what's wrong with this brother? Okay, let me close the water. Let me put a rock in front of the water so that nothing's flowing through. So he can start thinking about his behavior. Right? You got the car accidents. Right? You got the headaches. You got the body aches. You got the pain. Right? You got the confusion. Your mind's in a disarray when you wake up. You got nothing wrong with your body. Nothing wrong with anything. But you're in a disarray mentally. And you just woke up angry. You're like, damn, why am I waking up angry? It's things that you've been saying it's things that you're supposed to be doing. That's within the binding contract, and then there's things that you're saying you were going to do that you're not doing, and because you're not doing it, it's piling up on your spirit. Right? It's piling up on your spirit, and it's causing you to be heavy-hearted. It's causing you to be heavy-minded, because you're deferring to pay your vow, and now you're in debt. You're in debt basically with the Most High. Like when people in debt in the world, they jumping out of skyscrapers because they're heavy-hearted. They got physical debt, but this is what? Spiritual debt that you haven't paid. That he still wants you to pay just because you ain't did it in 6 months. After you vowed in that first month, he still wants you to pay that. Because he said the Lord will surely require it of you. And if you keep putting off from it, it's you just adding sin unto sin. Now that's the danger. Because we're trying to all get into the what? The kingdom. Right? And the verse you pulled last week, I think it was Revelation, is that liars not going to enter into the kingdom. And that basically makes us into a liar when we don't stick to what we committed to. Because you showing the Most High like, damn, I don't believe that you're going to save me out of this situation. I don't believe if I sacrifice a little sleep to study around this time that you're going to give me wisdom. That you're going to make this doctrine. I don't think I can get the understanding of immaculate conception. So this extra 2 hours ain't going to mean nothing. I should have never vowed it. But you already vowed the 2 extra hours at night to him. You already vowed the extra 2 hours in the morning to him. So he's requiring that of you. He's requiring that get up. This ain't nothing crazy. But the Most High is requiring it of us. And if we don't do it, it's sent to us. Read.
2nd Ezra, chapter 7, verse 43. Oh, I thought you said next, because we was done on that. We finished that.
No. We stopped that sin.
Okay, read down.
Yeah.
Sorry, Shalak.
Yeah, so they can understand that vow ain't just, I'm just, Lord, I'm praying to you tonight, and I vow to no longer eat Debbie cakes. You ain't got to say the word vow for it to be a vow. Is what we're going to figure out in the next sentence. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 22. But if thou shalt forbear to vow. Excuse me. Verse 22.
Oh, okay.
But if thou shalt forbear to vow.
Right. So now if you're not making a vow, you're not verbally saying, I'm not gonna eat Debbie cakes for 6 months. If you don't say that, read.
It shall be no sin in thee.
Right, it's not gonna be no sin. If you don't say, hey, I'm gonna be in Hebrew Academy, right, after my 6 months, and you don't say that, it's not gonna be sin to you. Okay, I'm in Hebrew Academy, and the brothers sat there and talked to me, and they said, okay, I'm Hebrew Academy for brothers that want to be priests. Okay, you sure that's what you want to do? Con. Okay, well, I know you said con, brother, but do this. Go home, read Ecclesiastes 2, because that's going to give you understanding on what you're going to go through. Right? Because as soon as brothers join Hebrew Academy, things start happening, battles start coming up. If you got a rich, you start acting out of order, kids start acting out of order, the boss at your job start being crazy, the tire run flat, things start just happening around you. Because he said, my son, God comes to the Lord prepared for that soul of temptation. You're like, okay, you sure you're going to be a part of that? Come. No, brother, go home, read Ecclesiastes 2. That's the precautionary steps that's taken to make sure that you're clear on what you want to vow to. So even brothers even helping you before you even say, okay, before we say amen to each other. Because when you come to Hebrew Academy, you're saying, I want to learn to be a priest. So when we say that, you got to realize what you committed to. And you got to realize all the things that's entailed with that.
And it's really who you committed to.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't to man, and that's the problem with a lot of our people.
Yeah.
Right, brothers and sisters coming in. It's a lot of times, yes, you come in the Most High, but is it really the Most High? Or is it a fad? Go there real quick. Let's go there. Ephesians 6 and 6. Hold that. Get Ephesians 6 and 6 real quick, Kadashis, because a lot of brothers and sisters, we're not sincerely looking at the Father. Yeah. That's why your actions start to get lethargic. Right. You start to get forgetful, right, because you were never thinking about the Father. You were now thinking about what? Man. Right? You wanted to now please man. You wanted to now jump into the fad. Why are we going over this class? Is because we got to be very careful and mindful that we are doing all things to the Father, and not to men. Right? Like I'm trying to get the favor of a man. You should be getting the favor of the Father. Right? If you're not ready to commit, it's okay. Yeah. Right? That elder, that teacher, that sister, that brother knows. Yeah. That'll be the best decision you can make, is that, you know what? Let me keep coming into class and let me, count the costs. Yeah. Because what does the scripture say? Go ahead.
Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 6.
Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 6. Go ahead.
Not with eye service.
Yeah, we're not supposed to now be bringing forth these vows, making these vows because of eye service. Well, it's in eye service, right? It's going to go into being man pleasers. But what does that mean? I'm only going to uphold what I said I was going to do when people are looking at me. Yeah. That's what that's going into. When serving the Lord. We shouldn't be making these vows just because of brothers and sisters that's around us. Right? We should be having a sincere connection with the Father to say, you know what? I'm going to do this in their presence and out. Right? Read it one more time.
Not with eye service.
Now with eye service, go ahead.
As men pleasers.
As what?
Men pleasers.
Right. We shouldn't be moving forward in the spirit, right? Gaining ground with more responsibilities, right? More fruitful work, but it's for the reason of man. Same thing with the ribs, right? You tell your husband what he wants to hear rather than what he needs to hear from you. Right? Man pleaser. Read it.
But as the servants of Yahushua.
As the what?
Servants of Yahushua.
Everything that we do, everything that we say is to Christ and the Father. Go ahead.
Doing the will of God.
Doing the what?
The will of God.
Go ahead.
From the heart.
Right. In sincerity, from your heart. Right? The things that you want to do, and that's the problem. Is that brothers and sisters get caught up on a wave. Right? Yeah. And to be honest with you, it is a good wave. Yeah. Right? Because the Father is bringing you on this spiritual journey, hoping that you're understanding what you're getting yourself into, what it's going to require of you to maintain your vow. And that be a lot of the time is that maintaining the vow is the issue. Yeah. Because it's not about, yes, man may not tap you on your back because you came to class every day. The Father is. Right. You know what I mean? The school was cleaned immaculately. Listen, you might get a compliment 2 months from now. Right? Yeah. But you might not have gotten it right there, but the Father sees it. That's what should motivate you, right? To uphold what you say and to bring back to mind is that, yes, you are saying it to a man, but the Father is the one that's now writing it down. Yeah. Right? He's the one that now is signifying, right? Making it official, right? With what was said. So we're not supposed to be doing things as man pleasers. No, everything we do should be towards the Most High. Y'all get that? Come on, man. That will cause you to have another outlook with what you go through, right? More motivation in what you go through. Remember, we went over the scriptures, is that our life is as a spectacle to the angels, to men, to the Most High, and brothers around you. So yes, this walk is a fight, and it's a good fight. Right? That's why we have to now use all resources to maintain the things that we say that we're going to do in the spirit. Like I tell a lot of brothers, man, I want to come to class, but I'm fighting. Try to tell you, vow one day, one day. No. You don't have to do 3 days. Just do one. Yeah. Let's get you started. Let's get a pattern of good works. You see that a lot of brothers be trying to jump in the deep end. It's like, you can't even swim. You have to start from doggy paddle. You have to start in the kiddie pool where your feet can touch the bottom because you're not ready to, jumping these things that you're unaware of what it requires. It requires for you to swim on.
Yeah.
It requires for you to hold yourself up, because if you don't, you will drown.
Yeah.
And that's why the Most High is bringing us through this process. And brothers and sisters got to be aware of that, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's why the verse says this part. Back in Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 23.
Come.
That which is gone out of thy lips.
Right? And that which comes out of your lips. So at that point, when you saying you about to commit to something, it's about what just comes out of your lips. It ain't about you said you using the word vow. Otherwise, it would say vow, then it's a vow. That's what it would have said. It would say, say vow, and when you say the word vow, then say what you about to do and commit to. You don't have to say the word vow. It's saying that which what?
That which is gone out of thy lips.
That which come out your lips.
Hey, I'm gonna be there, huh?
Right.
I'm gonna make on the Sabbath. Hold on. What time? 7:30. Bang! I'm gonna be there.
Mm.
Right?
Hey God.
No call, no show.
A lot of times.
That's what I did in heaven, huh?
Right.
When I listen, I'm gonna be in the best spirit, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be man, I had a couple of what he said. I'm gonna be a bodyguard, man. I'm gonna be the bodyguard when y'all go out, man. I'm gonna make sure everybody good. Never seen him again.
That was mighty though.
Like that was a mighty what he said, like, right? That dissertation that he dropped, right? The things he was gonna do, right? I ain't see that brother at all, man. And he speaks Spanish like that too. I was hyped. I said, hey man, we'll see you tomorrow. Right? But what happened? He didn't keep what came out of his mouth out. But we make light, not light of it, but we're bringing out the importance, man. The Most High said anything that comes out of your mouth. You know what? I want to do the Sabbath meal today. All right, you better do it in the right spirit. You said you was going to do it, and it better be here. Right? Listen, here goes another one, and this is something common, but we got to bring it out. Vows for the school rent. It's like, come on. Especially in certain areas, well, every school, right? Let's make this vow so that we can make sure the lights and that the ministry keeps coming. But what happens? We forget that.
Yeah.
That is a vow. Y'all see that? We get it. We know hard times. Who brought the hard time? Who brought the hard time? Like, you don't think he knows that?
Right.
But he wants to see what? Are you going to keep what goes out of your mouth? Are you going to keep what you said? I want to help the school and this and that. All praises, Baruch Atah Yahweh. Yeah. Keep doing it, right? You shouldn't have to be reminded. This is something that you should do. What? In your heart, in your spirit towards the Father, man. Yeah. So we see the Father, man. Listen, whatever we say, we have to keep.
Right. Hey, so you're gonna be in debt. Right. You're gonna be in that college debt, paying for 30 years. We're doing it right now. We done broke a lot of vows thousands of years ago. And now we're here having to pay that debt. Yeah. Most I ain't he's not letting nobody out. So read that.
That which is gone out of thy lips, thou shalt keep and perform.
Right, you're supposed to keep it and perform it. So you're supposed to commit to it. Once you committed to it, and you're supposed to stick to it and do the actions of it. Work towards it. Now, most I ain't no brute beast where it's like, okay, you understand that this is something that. Because a lot of times you make vows of things that you're trying to get better at. Yeah. He understands that you're trying to work and strive and get better. But he wants to see that daily effort in you doing it. That's really what he's looking for, this brother, this sister. Because that's what this life is, right? He wants to see us strive for the perfection. He wants to see us push forward. And us pushing forward, he twinkles us. Yeah. He twinkles, he makes that spirit to rest on you, right? You fight for patience like, Lord, I'm going to be patient from now on, and every day when a situation comes up, I'm going to fight against it. I'm going to fight against that. I'm going to fight against my anger when it comes up. And I'm going to resist it, and I'm going to fight that thought. That thought that makes me want to say, I hate you. I'm going to stop that thought before it comes out. You ain't good for nothing. I ain't really saying ish, right? But I'm going to stop those thoughts. That's what we're saying. So the Most High wants to see that. And that's that internal thought. Those are those internal thoughts you got to stop when it comes to anger. Because that's what flames up the physical actions to come through. But the Most High says He wants us to keep it and perform it. Read.
Even a free will offering.
Yeah, because it went out your lips. You said you wanted to do it.
Free will.
Free will, right? Free will. Read.
According.
Oh, what?
According.
Exactly how is basically that saying about according. Go ahead.
As thou hast vowed unto the Lord thy God.
Right. According to the fashion in which you told the Most High you're going to do it. Read.
Which thou hast promised with thy mouth.
Right. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 18:22. According to how it came out your mouth. According to how you let it drop. Right? That's according to how you say you was going to commit. I'm going to do watermelons. I'm going to do watermelons with sea salt. I'm going to do watermelons and I'm going to do watermelons with sea salt and I'm going to put a pineapple in it. Right? Or I'm going to do watermelons and I'm going to fresh press juice it and I'm going to only smoothie watermelons. No, nobody said that.
That sounds nice.
Right? Hey. Well, I run put me onto that sea salt. It was in the summit. I was like, damn, it's actually nice. This ain't bad. Right? It re-energizes us too. So it was good.
Sea salt or Himalayan salt?
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Himalayan salt. Pink Himalayan salt. Pink Himalayan salt.
Water in general. Distilled water, pink Himalayan salt. Let's get it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, back to life. Back to life.
Back to life. Back to reality. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 18, verse 22. Let nothing hinder thee.
Let what?
Let nothing hinder thee.
Don't let anything slow you down. That means you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Because that's what the vow you put. When you made the vow knowing that you wanted to challenge yourself. That's why the Most High made it a law, because he wanted you to not fall back from the challenge, because He knows you can do it. He said you can do all things through Christ which strengthens you. But you gotta see that, and in seeing that, He helps you by being He helps you by being your accountability partner, and then putting physical brothers and sisters around you to make sure that you stick to what you commit. Because in conversation you'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna be doing this and this and that. You know, I'm gonna be I'm gonna try to change my diet. I'm gonna try to get up at this time. I'm gonna study the book of Romans. I'm gonna study Kings. I want to read about the Kings and get the history about the Kings, so I can really understand just that history. So when we go into the Bible, when I'm having a conversation with somebody, when you said in conversation, then you have your brother there, your sister there, who's basically that witness. And like, are you still doing that?
Yeah.
And that's supposed to be that cut. Just them saying that alone is supposed to be that cut. It goes, nah, right? That's not meant to be light. It's supposed to spark your brain to be like, let me do it. Let me get on what I said I was going to do. All right? Let me get on the commitment that I made to the Father. And that's why I'm saying don't let nothing hinder you, because your mind, your own doubts and misconceptions and your suspicions and your laziness is going to always try to come in the way. Something's always going to try to come in the way and say why not to do it. It's like the scripture say in Proverbs. There's a lion in the way. It's in the streets. That's why I can't go to work. Right? That's why I can't get to the gym. Right? Because the street lights is jumping around. It's sprinkling outside, so I can't go to the gym. I don't like to drive in the rain. I said I was going to go to the gym at 6 in the morning every time before I go to work. Right? You got to see that the Most High is showing us you can do it, but you're not supposed to let anything stop you. Because when you fight against that, when you fight against letting things stop you, He's going to come in the way. But the problem is that, we give in to the thoughts. You give in to the emotions. You give in to the pleasures, right, of the flesh, the cares of the world. Read.
Let nothing hinder thee to pay thy vow in due time.
Yeah, in due time. Notice that, though. Read that one more time.
Let nothing hinder thee to pay thy vow in due time.
Right, in due time, in proper time. That means the Most High is even giving you space to accomplish the goal. That's due time. He's giving space to accomplish it. So the purpose of a vow is to keep you committed. It's to keep you committed so that you don't mess yourself up and psych yourself out of a blessing. A lot of times people psych themselves out of a blessing because they run with their own thoughts. And you end up, you're in the marriage, or you in the brotherhood, you in the sisterhood, and you're doing things that's supposed to rehabilitate you. You're in the rehabilitation. It's like somebody that's trying to get off drugs. They committed to being in the rehabilitation center. They even signed themselves up. They even walked themselves in there. They walked down a whole 2 hours to get to the center. But why? Because that initial mind that was sped up, that pushed them, that motivated them, that made them not hinder. Let nothing hinder. They ain't even got a car. They walking 2 hours to get to the center. They didn't let anything hinder them. I'm seeing cats out here, man, they walking in the dead cold. In the snow. Miss Dunn. Miss Dunn would be walking in the snow. Miss Dunn?
The Esau?
Mm-hmm. She would walk in the snow to work.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm mixing her up with another lady because of the colors.
Right.
A lady that worked at Sonic Delta.
Delta Sonic?
Delta Sonic. She would walk in the dead snow. And consistency, I love it.
Nothing was going to hinder that paycheck.
That's what it was. She said, I love it.
Yeah.
She fell in love with freezing.
She had to, though.
She had to.
Because what came from the freezing?
Yeah. Oh, the delayed
The
gratification.
delayed gratification, which was the paycheck.
Yeah. And she alive. She ain't got no, I see her, she got all her hands. Ain't no frostbite cut her circulation on.
Don't let, man. Don't let nothing slow you down, because that's what hinder is. Check this out. Hinder, when it goes to the definition of hinder, or it goes into retard. Right? Right, retard. But a lot of times we don't fully understand the definition of a retard or to retard. So retard means to delay or to diminish the velocity of motion. So what's causing you now to slow your progress down with the things that you said that you were going to do? What's causing you now to like you said, second guess? Well, it starts with that mind. You allow your own mind and your own thoughts to now slow you down when your mind was in the spirit. Because now you got spirits on you, right? You have now the racing thoughts, but also it talks about those strongholds, right? Those thoughts and issues that you deal with that come to light, that come to the surface, that now it does what? It now affects when you're in your right mind. Y'all see this? The scriptures is cold. Read it one more time.
Let nothing hinder thee.
Right. Let nothing cause you not to accomplish your goal. Let nothing hold you back from doing who you said you wanted to be. You want to be a good wife? Work on the things, exercise yourself in the characteristics of a good wife. You want to be that brother that wants to be a teacher? Well, exercise continually, force yourself, discipline yourself now to fulfill the requirements the Most High set out for men. Don't let now slothfulness hold you back. Don't let the TV unplug it. If the TV is such an issue, if mama and daddy and family is such an issue, cut it off. If your right hand offends, cut it off. Because why? Our actions is causing us now to be what? To be judged. And if we're not upholding what we said we're doing, the Most High said that's sin. Do we want to now be punished and sent to hell for continual sinning? What does that mean? So we got to now cut off these things that's hindering us from doing what we said we were going to do. You want to be a man of God? You got to put off the whorish nature. Right. You got to put off that whoremongering spirit. You got to cast off that lust. So what does that mean? The whatever you entertain has to be changed. Your music has to change. Yeah. Your entertainment on TV has to change. Your conversation has to change. What are you doing on your phone? Yeah. Right? Is your phone hindering you from you accomplishing what you said you were going to do? Right. You on TikTok for 5 hours a day. If you're on TikTok for 5 hours a day and you're not making any type of money, you're not a content winner or content millionaire. Right. Yeah, but I'm talking about the content cats that make money. Oh. There's a certain word for them. Oh, okay. If you're not doing that, there's a problem, right? You might be a what? You might be an addict, right? Or a slave to the system. And that's what we got to see. Don't hinder yourself. Don't allow anything to cause us now, for us to now fall back on what we said we're going to do. The beautiful part about it, man, is that the Most High is leveling us up on a level we don't even know. We don't even, this is the status of God. It's like doing what you said you're going to do, but by any means necessary to make it happen, lawfully. Right? Lawfully, not going out doing wickedness. Lying and deceiving. No, we're talking about fighting and disciplining yourself so that you can maintain the things that you said. You said you want to help sisters out with garments and do this. Well, now discipline yourself, right? Cause those negative thoughts to stop seeming so loud. How do you stop those thoughts from seeming so loud? You get them scourged. You get them scourged by your godly neighbor, right? That elder or that teacher that's not able to show you, no, that's not the mind state. We got to keep going at war with those thoughts because those thoughts hold a lot of brothers and sisters back. Y'all see this?
Come. Yeah, just that other definition of hinder. It says to impede or prevent from moving forward by any means. It's applicable to any subject, physical, moral, or intellectual. Come. Yeah, so it's showing us that it's on all spectrums. That you're not supposed to hinder yourself from paying your vows, excuse me. And that's what? Because you'll say, I'm going to study. You'll say, I'm going to stop lying. You'll say, I'm going to work on my diet.
I'm going to come out and visit the brothers. I'm going to come out and visit the sisters.
Oh, come on. Oh, right, yeah. I'm going to come out. You know what? You thought in your head, you know what? I'm going to come for Feast of Tabernacles. There you go. You on your computer, you home alone, right? I'm going to come. You know what? I'm only 5 hours away. I'm only 2 hours away. Shoot. Let me drive out. I mean, shoot, a flight is like an hour away. It's not that far.
I got the squad. I got the money.
I got it stopped away. But no. I want that monster truck. Right? I want that Suzuki motorcycle. I gotta save it up. You're not supposed to let nothing hinder you. You're not supposed to let materialistic things hinder you. You're not supposed to let your job hinder you. You're supposed to work those things around for you to get around the body. Get around the ministry. Especially if you say I fellowship with y'all, I sup on the same table with y'all. Like if you telling yourself that and you have the Passover, you have these different you in the chats, you in these different social gatherings or social intimate moments. Shoot, show face. Get to know brothers on a deeper level rather than an hour, 2 hour thing. Make it a regular thing when you visit it out. And you'll see how much more it'll benefit your body. I mean that too. It'll benefit your body and your spirit because you'll see yourself doing things that you never thought you'd be able to do based on whatever physical element you thought was supposed to hold you back based off what the doctor told you. That's the trick. The doctor, yeah, he does. You give him honor for what he do. But the Most High is the one that gives what? The full glory. Because he's the one that can heal you. He's the one that can open a gateway to where when you get that surgery, when they all the what they call those things, the disclaimers they give you that can go bad with the surgeries, he can make sure none of that persists with you. He can make sure you get that fully good. But that's based off you sticking to your commitments. You know, most times I'm sick, this hurt, that hurt, my head hurt, I'm late on this bill, on that bill, but I said I was going to come out. Well, communicate too. You're like, well, then I just don't got it. Communicate. Well, he said, we'll help you out. We'll work something out for you. Right? We'll find a way for you. There's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. But you got to be ready to want to do the will of the Most High. You got to prepare your heart to serve the Lord.
Yeah, it's like brothers. It's like with brothers too, right? Brothers, you got an issue with upholding your word, but that's why your rib got an issue with upholding her word. Right? She's shaky in the spirit because she learns it from you. So we got to understand the things that we fight to perfect is an example now to those in our household of what keeping your word, of what upholding the standard looks like. Yeah. So it is bigger than you. Yeah. You got people around looking at you, man. Like brothers we're not going live tomorrow. Most High willing, VA will be able to go live tomorrow for the Shabbat, but it's because there's a street speaking. A mass street speaking that's a few hours down the road. And I told the brother, I'm like, man, shoot, with that? No, man, we gonna be out there. We gonna be out there. Right. You know what I'm saying? Brotherhood. But when it gets down to the time, and it's like, oh, the money a little funny, right? Like, bro, I ain't. Ooh, the baby need diapers. Right. The truck need gas. You know what I mean? But it's like, you know what? If there's a will, there's a way. And the Father will do it. Yeah. He'll drop a little check on you. Right? New York State. Okay. New York Right? Right? I don't know a little few dollars that they give out for, I think everybody, a little child thing, right? New York State? No? Oh, you probably didn't claim your daughter, right? Yeah, that's right. But still, but those be those moments where the Most High comes through when you don't do what? When you don't retard, right? When you draw back, right? Or you now start second guessing on the thing that you said you were going to do. Remember, the Father knows this. He knows all, so why fret? Right? Why now think that I'm not able to uphold my vow because of my situation? No, the Lord knows the situation. We got to keep fighting through that. We got to keep finding now the roots and the methods of how now to do what I said I was going to do, right? With what I'm dealing with, which comes with what? Counsel. Y'all see that? Long story short, we're going to be out there tomorrow, most I will. Right? Right? New York, New York. Yeah, New York. New York, we're going to be out there. But the point is that, we could have easily went into what? We ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of other things. It's like, nah, man, let's push to do the things we said we're going to do, for brotherhood, for even, the brother that I spoke to about it, older, but still it's a lot, man. Them brothers is about their word because we are. Yeah. If we say we coming to the summit, we coming to the summit. If we say we're going to help, we're going to help. If we say we're going to counsel, we're going to counsel. If we say we're going to have class on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, if one camp don't, another camp will. We going to be here for you. Why? Because we hold our vow. You see that? Yeah. And we hope that us showing that is now an example for those that are watching and those that see. Yeah. Like y'all got to start looking at what we do, right? And what we say, what the scriptures require a little bit more deeply. This ain't some fictitious thing that we're doing, man. No. This is really applying the knowledge, the wisdom, right? Applying and striving to uphold the Most High's requirements, which is to do what? Uphold his standard, be there. Moses was there. Aaron was there. Joshua was there. Right? Yahushua was there. The disciples were there. Stephen was there to the end. Those are our examples that we have. How much more now are in time teachers that are not hidden? That like Kazak, what? 25, 30 years, 40 years? Quadazak, 10 years? Right? I mean, mind you, a little longer than that. But the point is that those men have been dedicated. I've been around them. I've been seeing them. You know what I'm saying? So I have no excuse. And you don't either. Because why? The Father has given us examples to look at in regards to what? Upholding your vow. It is possible. You have sisters. I don't care what sisters go through. Your household, your husband, dealing with the children, dealing with garments, my job. I don't feel like I'm this. I don't feel like I'm that. You can get through that because you have examples of sisters 15 plus years in the truth that you can call, that you can talk to understand how now to fight through what you're going through. How you should now uphold in keeping your vow. All you got to do is make a call. Make a text or email, whatever you got to do. Make it happen because the Most High has put us around men and women that have fulfilled this example. Most High will we continue to do that. You see this? So there's no excuses, y'all. Whenever we try to make an excuse in our mind and say we can't do it, no. That's weakness. That's why the Father said cast off that weakness. You see that?
John.
Plenty more to go.
John. Right? So let's go to Proverbs 13:22. Right with that. Oh.
Nah, it's something else. It's like I seen something today.
Proverbs 13:22. Oh, 12. Proverbs 13:12. Excuse me. Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 13, verse 12. Hope deferred.
And that's what we've been saying, but that's the verse, right? Hope what?
Hope deferred.
Right. And the word was what? Retard. It's the slow in progress, slow in motion. You stop moving forward. Right? When you stop something that you said you was gonna be doing, or you don't even start it.
Right. To delay or to put off.
To delay or put off, right? The Most High is doing what? He's looking at that. He's tallying those things up. So all the things that he wanted, all the things she wanted, I'm gonna cut the water. I'm gonna cut the blessing, right? I'm gonna cut the peace in the house so that they can start seeing what they've been ignoring, right?
They've been forsaking me.
Yeah.
I will forsake them.
Right? It said blessings is in the house, the habitation of the just. But in the house of wicked is what? No peace. I'm paraphrasing that last part. Right? Because why? Because he don't want you to hide in your sin. Because the point is not for you to die. The pain, he causes the pain on you. The point is not for you to die in your sin. The point is for him to shake you up, make the blessing stop so that you can wake up in it. So that you can see what value you're breaking. Dang, I did say I was going to do that. I did say I was going to be in class for a month straight, trying to work on myself, get my class discipline going on, being around. Then I made sure I told myself I was going to stop daydreaming. I told myself I wasn't going to let myself daydream no more because the daydream sends me into spiritual shock. Right? And now the shock leads me to depression. The depression leads me to the anger leads me to frustration. Right? I got to get myself out this shock mode. I got to shock myself into the spirit by not what? Sitting and dilly-dallying with the thought. Right? Read. Because hope deferred make the heart sick. When you told your husband you was going to do something, when you told the brother you was going to do something, and you don't do it, now, for a mature man in the spirit, it don't break him. But it's like, damn, it's like you always say, we could do so much with unity, but when there's lack of unity, it derails. It don't stop. It just slows down the progress. It don't stop it. It just slows down the progress till the Most High does what? Make things function again. Somebody comes in and they willing to just do everything. They're ready to do everything because that's how the Most High flow. But that can just derail it. And that hope making the heart sick. When that person's not rooted and established off the wisdom, and they're stable in the mind with the spirit of the Most High, and understand how the different ways he functions, then you can destroy that conscience. You can destroy that weak conscience. I mean, think about it. A kid coming into the world, they have to learn from their parents. That pure conscience ends up getting destroyed because why? The parents on what? They on PCP. They on damn alcohol. They are waking up in the morning drinking beers. They fighting with the rib. They like literally fighting, physical fighting. They verbally arguing. They calling the son a B word. You foolish. You ain't. You the crust under my toes.
Nothing.
You ain't nothing. You little squirm. What happened to our Rossi? That's how people talk to their kids though. We see it in the mall every day. They say it loud.
Especially now with the hyenas.
Yeah. The Cardi B's. Right? And the Glorilla's.
I see it too, but
See, I don't even think they even talk like that.
No, they can't.
You know what I'm saying? But that spirit within a lack of educating women out is beast.
Right. Because they feed that music, but they're not even into that no more. They kind of like at least Cardi B from what she's saying. She's not even into that lifestyle no more.
Right.
She says she's tired of being that person. But her music promotes that type of character. So, like you said, for the weak mind, they run with it, and then they run with it on every aspect of their life.
Extreme level.
Even worse than them. Worse than what they're doing in the music video. And then they end up doing what? They in the middle of the mall. They call it, hurry up, boy! And they don't say boy. They say, you dumb something. They say, you dumb something. We done seen it a couple times. Or the lady, she didn't pick up her son out the car seat, or the little strollers that people be having, like basket strollers, wagons, and then pick them up, throw them down on the floor, like just literally went like this. You sit in the middle of the mall, throw them out like that. Then the baby don't want to walk. She getting frustrated, so she started dragging him a little bit. And then, because us and the customer looking, she picked him back up, put him in the trolley, but she threw him in the trolley. Yeah.
I can't make this up.
That's real.
I seen when I was in the mall today, I seen a lady, Edomite lady. Her son, he's mixed though, but he had to be like 10. And he did something, I don't know, but she was like cussing him out right in the food court. And he ended up just picking up his food and going to sit all the way across the food court. And she ended up cussing him out and going in the Burger King line. Then she come back, his little brother, she's like, where did he go? But he sat like somewhere else to eat his food.
Right.
Then they tried to go sit with him. He got his stuff again, got up.
Yeah.
Damn.
He was like 10 years old.
That's why a lot of these kids is killing their parents, man.
Yeah.
You know, the Bible says about provoke not your son, provoke not your children, but bring them up and nurture. These women don't know how to nurture because they weren't nurtured.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why our people need us, man. That's why our people. That's why our people need men and women that are about their word to now show them a better way. You know what I mean? And your word is reading the Bible and bearing witness of the requirements of the Father. You know what I'm saying? Put off whoremongering. That's a vow. When you read that, you're telling the Father, you acknowledge what you're supposed to be doing, so that it can now help sisters and men and children that deal in that situation. It's bigger than us. This is restoring of the kingdom, restoring of our nation, of our decayed estate. But it takes men and women to uphold the standard continually, right? And when weakness tries to come on, we fight it off. We fend it, right? Cast it down. Because your children is looking, man. Y'all see that? Come on.
That's real. So that's basically what when we look at that first point, that's what that is. You're in a covenant to stay away from all these things. And so that you can be able to show it up everybody else. Just like we brought that sin into the land, and it defiled the land. Now it's our job to take it out of the land. Right? And we the people are more important than the land. So we are the land. We are the church. We are the body of Christ. So read that.
Verse 12. Hope deferred maketh the heart sick. But when the desire cometh, it is a tree of life.
Yeah, it's a tree of life. It's peaceful. It's peaceful when everything's orchestrated and everything's functioning properly. Right? It's no confusion. There's no division. There's no... Yeah, you keep your word. When you just keep your word, it's just everything can flow. It just flows peacefully. It's not like, it's like, dang. Now we got to make a new plan to make this system that's laid down work. The things that we committed to make those things work, we got to make a whole new plan just to make it fit in. And then now you gotta stretch out a brother, you gotta stretch out a sister, you gotta add. This sister gotta do more than what is needed to do. Like she let's say she's doing garments, but that's her main thing, because garments is backed up with garments that need to be done. Now because they were splitting it, 2 people were splitting, or 4 people were splitting it. Well, it wasn't as backed up. Excuse me, let me say that. 4 people was doing garments. Let's say 4 people was doing garments. That's allowing flow to happen, because everybody's working on one thing. But then if 3 decommit, everything's on that one person. Then now the work gonna happen. It's gonna eventually get done, but not in the time that we vow to those people that did what? That paid. Those people that paid for that garment. And now it makes it what? Audible has to happen. That now makes the work more strenuous than it has to be, when it's already gonna be laborers, but now it's making it harder than it has to be. But that's in everything though. So when you commit to something, you gotta be mindful of what you commit to. Because you can hope deferred make the heart sick. You can skew somebody's conscience with that. So we gotta be careful. Go to Ecclesiastes 5 and 10. Ecclesiastes 5 and 10. Ecclesiastes chapter 5. Okay. Ecclesiastes 5 verse 10.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5 verse 10. Be steadfast in thy understanding.
And that's why when you sit here in class, we say what? Ask questions. Right? If you don't understand something, raise your hand. That's why I say take notes. That's why I say go over your notes so that you can know what you're being steadfast in, what you're being required in, because you're in a continual vow with the Father. All these laws that we have, they're vows. There's things that we're supposed to be upholding and doing and striving to keep daily. So when we're saying be steadfast in your understanding, when the scriptures is saying be steadfast in your understanding, it's so that when now you have to perform the act of what's required in it, what can happen? Read.
And let thy word be the same.
That you're not double-tongued. That you're not moving double-tongued. You're not saying, I'm saying that I want to get a ride, but not at 6 o'clock though. That's an extra hour of sleep. Could I do the ride at 7? But the brother needs to be where you gotta be at 7:05. Right? Or at 6:30. That don't even make sense. Right? That don't even make sense. But the Most High is showing us that you gotta be careful. We got to put the work and the stride in to make sure that we commit to the things that we commit to. Stay committed to the things that we committed to, and doing the work. That staying committed, it's a labor. Because there's things mentally that you got to do to stick to it. And you got to constantly make yourself mindful of the Word of God. Because that's where the motivation is going to stem from. That's where the spark is going to be at. That's where the spark is going to be at, to constantly push yourself, because the Most High always hitting you every day with something new. He's always trying to hit you with something new, of understanding or thought, or something to think of. A thought will pop up in your brain to do so. A new idea will pop up in your brain every day. Right? A new idea will pop up in your brain every day. A new piece of understanding of the scripture pops up in your brain every day. But it just runs past as a thought, because you don't acknowledge it. Because you don't acknowledge it because you're not thinking about the Father. So you miss that point of you being able to be sparked when the Most High was trying to spark you. It's like in class. You sitting in class, your mind is trying to daze off because you're tired, you're sleepy, you're hungry, you got a little bit of bubble guts. You can sit around, but you got a little bit of bubble going in that stomach, right? And it's all these things trying to distract you so that you don't focusing on the Father. And these are the things that try to hinder you from, they call obstacles. The Bible is saying hinder, which is the proper term, right? But the world will call it obstacles. You got all these different obstacles trying to keep you from keeping your word. Read.
Be swift to hear.
That's why the Most High is saying be swift to hear. As you're learning what it is to keep a vow and its purpose, it's so that they can teach you how to be swift to hear. So you have to learn to be a student. You have to learn to love to learn. You have to have a developed desire to learn things. Because when you have a developed desire to learn, you're swift to hear. And that keeps you careful, because let's go back to the definition of vow. It says a solemn promise. It says careful to perform. You're something careful to perform. Why? Read.
And let thy life be sincere.
Because you're swift to hear, you're increasing your chances of making your life sincere. Because now you're not just doing things rashly. You're not just jumping into situations that you don't know and that you're ready to embark on. Read.
And with patience give answer.
And what?
Patience give answer.
This is why the vow exists. It's to regulate your spirit so that you don't do things so fast. And then you're doing it off of hype. And when you hype up, you got all the motivation to do it. You're there every day. You're there on time every day. You find you being creative with it every day. But then after a couple months, or some people nowadays, it's a couple weeks, right? Or 1 month, you start to just get disinterested in the thing. Because you didn't tap into the thing that keeps you sparked, the Father. The thing that kept you mindful of not being rash with your speech, the Father. The thing that got you out of the situations that you vowed and made agreements with people with in the world, the Father. The Father got you away from the gang. The Father got you away from the cartel. The Father got you away from the crazy woman that got running after you with the knife. The Father got you away when you was in this dang adulterous situation. The Father got us away from those things. And so he's trying to teach us how to now give us a fresh start, learn how to make the life sincere. So a vow is there to teach you how to be sincere. If we're slowing down and really paying attention to what's being said. A vow, its purpose, is teaching us sincerity. So that the insincere, the fake, the dishonest spirit don't rest on you. So that is a spirit. Read.
Verse 12. If thou hast
jump to verse 13.
Verse 13. Honor and shame is in talk.
Oh, right. Honor and what?
Honor and shame is in talk.
Because you can develop your honorable nature in your speech. Right? The brother he's ready to want to speak. He's ready to dive in, but he's realizing, he said, I gotta be humble. So I can learn all these things. And he's saying that. He's hyped for that moment. But then now he starts to do it. He's like, you know what, my bad. I had work. Then when I was at work, I overslept. I'll come next week. It's 9 o'clock. Hebrew Academy don't stop till 9:30. Why not get that last ending of that Hebrew Academy? You only live about 5-10 minutes. In Rochester, everything about 10-15 minutes away.
Until about 30 minutes to an hour after.
Right? We gonna do the push-ups, right? That's the first half. And then, I think about it. I think about like Brother Aaron. Brother Aaron, he used to do a job where he'd be in North Carolina while the brothers having class in Virginia. Class finished at 10. He'll pull up, because everybody still be there after class. He'll pull up at like 11 something o'clock, whatever time it is, and he'll be hanging around after class. This is after class is done. He don't know if nobody there. He ain't called nobody.
He knows that he needs it.
Con.
He needs that interaction, right? He needs that charge up.
Yeah.
After that long garbage day under Esau's authority. You know, but the beauty of it is because he understands what he needs. Mm-hmm. That's that sincerity, man. You actually care.
Yeah.
And the Most High will multiply his doings, man. His works, you know, his studying, his spirit, just off of that sacrifice. And a lot of us, you know, I like what you're saying, because you gotta really within yourself know why you do what you do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And really figure things out for yourself. You know, in serving the Father. Why do you think Christ told Judas, hurry up and do what you got to do?
Right.
Bro, just do what you're going to do, man. Right? So the Most High is telling us the same thing. Choose.
Yeah.
Because you will be accountable for your works. You know? But when it comes to the Father, man, be sincere. If you can't do something, don't do it. Yeah. Right? It's okay. Right? So stop overthinking, or what it is that, brothers and sisters, you think that you know the thoughts of men, like you, Christ. You know that this man's thinking, well, if I say no, they're going to look at me like this, and then they're probably going to talk about me here and no, we won't do that. Come on, where you getting this type of outlook from? Right. This ain't the streets. No. Right? This ain't no BET show. Right? We want brothers and sisters to do things in sincerity. You know what I'm saying? From your heart. If you want to give, brother, give. If you want to give, sister, give. You know, if you're a little reserved, keep watching. Keep getting these scriptures that should fortify your faith in the things that you do for the Father. Right? Which in return is for the people. Yeah. You know? So this scripture is a cold when you look at it. Sincerity. Are you true with yourself, man? Are you sincere in what you do? Not feign, which means not fake. Stop being fake, man. Right? And be real with yourself. And that's the point. So the vow is literally there to keep you from being fake. It's literally to keep you from being fake, because we'll do it to ourselves. We'll put ourselves in a hole. That's why they say the law is a light. It keeps you illuminated to the reality of what's required of you when you live on earth. Because the same thing we're doing on earth is the same thing they're doing on heaven. They keeping the laws, right? they keeping a standard. And you know, obviously our fight is we fighting against that flesh. They're in that mode, but before you can get to that realm, you got to fight on earth to prove that you're worthy of being in Abraham's bosom, right? You're worthy of being a peaceful habitation. But the goal is to have heaven on earth. The goal is to literally have heaven on earth. And the Most High wants sincere leaders. He wants sincere women. He wants sincere children to uphold the standard. Because why? If we're saying we're going to have people up under us, we're saying you're going to have Edomites, you're going to be stumping Edomites, and you're going to be having them, you're going to have them under you, and the nations under you. You got to know how to handle these things. Yeah, you got to be able to strive lawfully.
Right.
In all things.
Yeah, you got to be able to strive the right way. You can't just skip steps. Because the Most High is not like high school, where you can skip steps and you're going to pass.
Right, you cheating your way through it.
Nah, it don't work that way, right? The teacher he is the teacher that's doing what? Giving you the answer to the test. But he ain't the teacher that's just going, as I'm giving you the answer to the test, when you don't go home and study it, I'm going to pass you. He's not that teacher. Because teachers in high school will do that. They'll pass you just to pass you. So they ain't got to deal with you. They ain't got to deal with all the paperwork that comes with you when you're doing wrong. They trying to get rid of you. But the Most High, he's going to stay in that squat position, and he's going to work with you from there. He's going to keep you there. So that you can really sincerely tap into who you are. Because there's a version of you that you don't know that exists. There's a version of you that you don't know that exists. And you don't know that you don't put a mental cap on yourself. And what I mean by a mental cap, don't put a limitation on yourself. The Most High, he don't like when we put limitations on ourselves. That's why when we say things, he makes us commit to it. Because he knows that you can do it. But you have to plan ahead, you have to prepare ahead, and you have to pray ahead so that you can be able to do these things. Because that's the way we accomplish things. How were wars won in Israel? They prayed. They prayed, but they also prepared. They also planned. And they also acted on executing these things. And they practiced the execution of these things. They trained how to use the sword. They trained how to use the shield. They trained how to move in formation. They trained how to walk silently when they got to spy out the land. They trained how to be incognito when they got to spy out the land. Training. But the Most High is making this so that we have to be sincere. Read that again on Gosh.
Verse 13?
Yes, sir.
Come. Honor and shame is in talk.
So there's life and death in that speech. You can bring life to yourself and your family. Or you can bring death to yourself and your family. Right? We always talk about Brother Khan. Right? About the accursed thing. But we know now that accursed thing could be your spirit. So the Most High says honor and shame in our talk. So the honor is in what? The shift you make. That new creature in Christ. And that person that he was known for being just a drunk cat that was lazy, come in the house, right? He don't do nothing, he don't help with the bills. He drank all the kids' milk, right? That uncle that everybody always talking about, he drank all the kids' milk, eat all the kids' eggs, eating all their waffles, and that's all he doing is sleep on the couch. While everybody going to work and school. And then come back and there's nothing at the house for nobody to eat. Because he caring about himself. But the Most High trying to make a brother or sister a new creature to where what? That uncle is what? Now that uncle giving auntie, right, his sister counsel. That's who we are. We are those low budget people in the world that they looked at as low budget, that don't matter, that is invaluable. All you do is get angry. All you do is chase women. All you do is eat. All you do is steal. The Most High is trying to make you what? An honorable individual. Somebody that's of a dignified character. But that honors in your talk. And it's in also the things that you keep and perform when you vow. Read.
Come. In the tongue of a man is his fall.
Is his fall. So that's why the Most High is saying the vow is important. And it's important that you keep it. And the purpose of it is to keep you sincere. So that demons don't just be jumping around. So honor and shame is in that talk. Let's go to 1 Timothy 3 and verse 7. 1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 7. Just on that honor and that shame, right? Read.
1 Timothy chapter 3 verse 7. Moreover, he must have a good report.
And we know 1 Timothy chapter 3 is talking about that bishop. Or let's say you're not even trying to be a bishop. You're aspiring to be a godly man, a godly woman. Right? Read. Moreover, this man must have a good report. This woman, this sister must have a good report. Read.
Of them which are without.
To those that are feeble-minded. Those that are lost in the world. Those are the brothers and sisters that's faint in the truth, still trying to learn what it is to be an Israelite. You're supposed to, you've been around, you're learning the example. You said, I agree, I'm on. Right? When brothers say, y'all get that? Come on. That's your agreement. You just told the Most High you understand fully everything that's being brought out, so you're ready to commit to it.
You're going to uphold that.
You're going to uphold that. Right? Because that's in the law. That's in the book. You're going to uphold what the scriptures say. You're going to uphold what the Most High is requiring of us, which is what Christ came to show us. How to be sincere. Right? How to have that good report. But he showed us how to keep a vow. He told the Most High he was going to come down on earth, walk like a human being, resist the flesh, and walk perfect. He did exactly that. And he's showing us we can do the same thing. So read that. We got to have that good report. Read.
Lest he fall into reproof.
So that you don't fall into the what? Reproach. And what?
And the snare of the devil.
The vow and the Most High making it a law is to regulate your actions so that you don't fall into the snares of the devil. The traps. You said you're going to do something, now the Most High like, damn, now I got to whoop him. Now I got to whoop her. Now I got to check her. Now I got to take the car from her. Right? Now I got to take his peace of mind. Now I got to take her stability. Dang. And she ain't got no moderation. Now I got to show her diabetes. Now I got to show him diabetes. I got to give him scare tactics to spark the brain. Because he don't want you to fall into the snares of the devil. That's why he's saying, be careful what you commit to. Because when you step back, after a commitment, you just know that you are in the snare of the devil. The devil is controlling you. You walking on his land. You walking on the devil's land. And he can do whatever he wants with you. Mind you, he can do whatever the Most High allows him to do with you. Right? Because why? You walking into his path. You're doing the things that gives him power over you when he really has none. Mind you, the Most High said you can do all things through Christ which strengthens you. Let's stop giving Satan the power by keeping the vows and being careful what you commit to. Be careful. Read.
Likewise must the deacon be grave.
So, but as we go into the scripture, it's talking about bishops, and we know the bishops and the deacons and the priests and the ministers are the men. It also highlighted in this chapter about the wives of these men. They have to be just like that man. So this scripture applies to brothers and sisters. Read. He got to be grave. He got to be serious and, in other terms, sincere about what he's doing. Read.
Not double-tongued.
Now what?
Double-tongued.
He can't be double-tongued. He can't say, I'm going to do this half of the commitment, but I'm not going to do this one. Right? I'm going to be in Hebrew Academy. Right? But I'm not coming to Sabbath class. When you committed to the system of Hebrew Academy, you was walked through it, and then you was pre-gamed on what's required of it. Then you was told, go read it before you commit to it. But then you committed to it. Now you're required of it. At least 3 classes. And one of them got to be the Sabbath. So when you say you're going to do something, you got to do what? Uphold it. Because the Most High is requiring. Read.
Not giving too much wine.
Right.
Not greedy or filthy lucre.
And mind you, this is not just requirements for a priest. This is requirements for a godly man. So now you can't just be dang dilly-dallying and drunk. Right? Or I'm going to say alcoholic. Excuse my names, right? Wrong terminology. You can't be alcoholic. Because we can drink, right? Let me say that for online, just in case somebody that we don't know is watching. Right? You just got to have moderation, and you got to be able to control yourself. Because some people don't know how to control themselves when they drink. But there's brothers and sisters, you got to just know. Right? If you know your battle in the world was drinking, you got to be moderate. You got to watch yourself. But if you got to, because then you're going to put yourself in the snare of the devil. But if it's a brother, it's a sister, you moderation. You got to know how to control yourself. It's like, you can't just be getting piss poor drunk. Where you can't control yourself. It's like I learned to drink or being around brothers. You know, I learned to drink the right way. He told me about moderation. Know your limit. Be aware when you get that feeling where you're getting loose. You got to watch yourself. You got to know your limit and stop at that point. And just enjoy that little buzz right there. You know, and that's what the Most High is showing us. Just as a godly man, you should want that. You should want that, but that's also required. When Most High said that. So read on.
Holding the mystery of the faith.
Because that's the point. The word is a mystery to a lot of people. But you know the mystery. We know the mystery. We have the knowledge. You know the truth. You know Christ being black is not a mystery to you no more. Christ dying for Israel is not a mystery to us no more. Right? Loving your people, knowing that you have to love your people and should desire to love your people, it's not a mystery to you no more. It's no more black versus brown, right? All the high school fights you used to have it made you hate Latinos. That's supposed to die now, because you know the mystery now. So it says holding the mystery of the faith in what?
In a pure conscience.
That's the whole point of the vow. It does what to your conscience? Keeps it pure. It keeps your conscience pure. So that you don't, because when you decommit, now you start to move impurely. You start to move impurely and you start to do what? Try to justify the behavior of why you decommit. You start to make reasons that fit your flesh, that fit your weak nature, right? Because why? Satan, you fell into his snare. But the Most High is saying, you have to fight that. You have to be careful what you say, because the vow is required. But let's go to Numbers 32. Numbers 32. Go ahead.
Numbers chapter 30, verse 2.
And this is again, it's establishing the law. This is a law about the vow. It's giving more understanding. Read.
If a man vow a vow unto the Lord,
Make that solemn promise. So you have to be careful to perform it. Read.
or swear an oath to bind his soul.
What the definition say about a covenant earlier, it says a binding agreement. Read.
With a bond,
Uh-huh.
he shall not break his word.
He said, what?
Break his word.
In New York, they like to say my word is bond, but they really don't be doing it. Right, wolf ticket. The brother out here, he told me he coming to class. If it's real, I'm coming. Right, he's like, all right. I grew up with the Italians. They were serious about their word. So you know if you don't keep your word, how I'm going to feel about it. I called him. He said, call me. He said, call me the next day to remind me to come to class. I called him early. I called him 2 hours early. He didn't answer the phone. Right? He didn't call me back. But he's like, I ain't coming. I can't come. I'm gonna come tomorrow. I've been here what? 8-9 months? It's been 8-9 months later. This was like my first 2 months I was here, I think he said that. Then I ran across him in the mall. He didn't even want to look at me. Right? But the Spirit took him because why? We know somebody else is right out here that knows him. So that's his opportunity to get right. But that's why we got to be right, because when we're right, we're able to do what? When we meet them, give them what they need. He got what he needed. I wasn't brutish with him. I wasn't disrespectful. I wasn't forcing him. I just offered it up. And he took up the offer. And then he did what? He didn't keep his word. He didn't keep his vow. We're not supposed to break our word. Read.
He shall do accordingly to all that proceedeth out of his mouth.
Right. So you're supposed to follow the details of what proceeds out of your mouth. So let's go to this next point. Don't be rash with your mouth. Don't be rash with your mouth. Be careful what you say. Don't be rash with your mouth. Be careful what you say. Ecclesiastes 5:4. All right. So you got that? Brother Uriah?
Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 4.
Oh, time. Go ahead. So be careful. Don't be rash with your mouth. Be careful what you say is the point. Read.
Say not, I have...
5:4. Ecclesiastes.
Excuse me. I thought you said cuss.
Oh, okay. All right. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 4.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 4.
Uh-huh.
When thou vowest a vow unto God,
Uh-huh.
defer not to pay it.
Right, there you go again. It keeps reiterating it. Because the Most High is trying to remind us, keep us fresh, keep it fresh in the mind. So he got to say it all throughout the Bible. Read.
For he has no pleasure in fools.
You don't have pleasure in those that choose to stay in the lack of knowledge. Because that's what the fool is. The fool chooses to stay in the lack of knowledge. The fool chooses to stay in the weakness. The fool chooses to stay in the mire. He don't take pleasure in that. Because he can't do nothing with it. He like to get things done swiftly. But the fool ain't trying to do that. The fool's trying to do what? He's trying to okay, I'm going to get the copy paper, but I know I have the money to get the printer, but I don't want to get the printer right now. But we need the printer, brother, to make flyers. And you said you was going to do it. You said you wanted to do it. But I'm going to get the printer. I'm going to get the paper, but not the printer. Then what's the point of getting the paper without the printer?
What are we doing here?
Yeah, it's like
You playing games.
right. It's a game. The Most High don't play games. That's what he's saying. He don't take pleasure in it. That's why he said you don't want the land to be defiled. That'll defile the land. And now we live in a land where everybody's side-eyeing each other because nobody's keeping their word. My grandma told me she was going to make me the sweet potato pie. Right? She ain't do it. My dad told me he was going to give me driver's lessons. He ain't do it.
My wife said that she was going to fight to be the best wife ever.
And she ain't do it.
Right? According to the Lord's standard.
Right. All that according to the Lord's standard, right?
Same put them into.
Right, right.
Listen, baby, listen. I'm gonna work on me.
I'm
gonna work on me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna fight to be the best man for you
and
the kids.
All right, I'm gonna be a changed man.
Go back to Jake mode.
Right.
Right back to Jake mode.
Bertha, get out of my face.
Right.
Cussing at her though. I'm saying nice word. She cussing at Bertha. Right? But the Most High showing us what? He don't take pleasure in fools. Read.
Pay that which thou hast vowed.
Now pay what you said. It says, what it say in Numbers? It says, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceeded out of his mouth. Read.
Better is it that thou shouldest not vow.
You should have held your tongue. Because honor and shame is in the talk. Honor and shame is in the talk. And then think about this point right here. If we're ambassadors for Christ, we step out into the world, and we're supposed to be a piece, an essence of the Most High, an image of God. But then we don't keep our vows with these nations. Imagine if David didn't keep his agreement that he had with Hiram. Then we blast in the name of the Most High before the Gentiles.
So that's how they get down.
Yeah.
That's their true nature. Oh, they ain't nothing different from the world.
So what is this really a power?
Right.
What are those? Hold on, wait a minute. You said you was an Israelite.
Yeah.
Why you treat me like I'm a piece of nothing? You're supposed to have a higher standard.
Right.
But it goes right now. The ministry could be blamed.
Because you're standing. Because you're committing to something that you can't uphold. You told somebody you wanted to do something, you was going to do something that you're not able to do.
Yeah.
And now you're running your mouth loosely, and then now it's making the Most High, you really look bad because the Most High is the true power.
Listen, you say you were Israelite.
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters are looking at you now to uphold the standard of a God-like man and a God-like woman.
But that's real. You know, people will take that like it's a cliche statement, like he's just saying, but it's facts. People really do. Oh, you an Israelite? They look at you with that dang pork sandwich in your hand. They're like,
Right.
They look at you with that cigarette in your hand. You're like,
Right.
They're looking at you on your phone, and you got a dang pinky on there. They're like, You that lost into it. You in the public market. Pinky on your phone.
Oh, you said pinky?
Yeah.
I didn't know what you said first.
Oh.
Don't act like you don't know who Pinky is. Right? We know Pinky was what was she called? That's basically a influencer.
Right.
Oh, really? All right.
That's basically a
P-star.
yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Right. 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 But we're seeing what? The Most High is saying you're supposed to be that ambassador. So all the things that defiled you in the world, you're supposed to grow a distaste for it. And stay committed to the fight that you're in. To say that I'm going to resist those things. I'm going to fight for my family now. I'm not just going to be like my dad. I'm not just going to be like my mom who gave up on their marriage. Right? Who gave up on their spouse. Who gave up on their children. Right? I'm not just going to be shorthanded with them. I'm going to actually what? I'm going to fight for it. Because I want to see us last long. Because the Most High didn't want us to divorce. He didn't want to see a father over here in Los Angeles and a mother over here in Milwaukee. What sense that make? That's confusing the kid. That's making a kid defiled. Right? It's not just the dang smoking of the weed, the alcoholism, it's all the spiritual defects that you bring with them. And now they're a host for demons because you got them playing with your demons. You got them, before they even understand what even a demon is, you got them playing with your demons. Because why? You're not upholding what you said you was going to do when you told the Most High you was going to change. Right? When you told the Most High you was here to sacrifice. This is a rehabilitation center. You're supposed to use it. But the Most High makes you commit to your rehabilitation. He makes you commit to your spiritual health by law, by way of law, to regulate your actions so that you're not given to the vomit. Look at being given to the vomit. Like we walk in these houses, man. These houses is destitute and destroyed, and it's upright. It's a whole building. But when you go inside of it, the thing, you got fake eyelashes in the thing sink. You got toilet paper with doo-doo because a squatter was in the house. Like a squatter, I was trying to tell you, it's either our people or Esau, right? And it's like they squatting, how they pooping, leaving the poop over there. On the walls. Spraying on the wall.
Doo-doo on the walls.
But these are human beings where you feel disgusted if you even just walk past the odor aroma of it. But how did they get to that low point? They was breaking vows. They was breaking things that they were required to do. And they didn't even know they was vowing things. And then now they went to a point where they're delusional. And they living that life, but that's what the scriptures, that's what the Most High, that's what brothers, and what the Most High is putting in brothers, his messengers, to tell you, so that you don't end up delusional like them. It started off with, no, I'm not going to never tap into that. No, I would never do that. Nah, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. That's why he's saying be careful, don't be rash. Because we've been in sticky situations, but we've never been in a sticky situation where now we have to think about upholding the right morals while doing it. Because you've been in sticky situations, you've been in moments that provoke your anger, but you ain't been in moments where you know that you're not supposed to give into that anger, and you have to uphold yourself by way of law to do what? Condescend them in a lower state. Right? Soft answer, turn away wrath. Right? Oh, we in this together. We're building this building together. I'm here. I'm gonna be here every day building this building with y'all. But you gotta consistently do it, even when you're tired and you don't feel like getting up. You gotta cast that mind down, and you gotta counsel to cast that mind down, right? You're like you're in a covenant to have to do those things, so that you can get the peace. The Most High set it up that way so you can obtain peace.
Again, the scripture says,
when much is given, much is required, right? So when you now bear witness, through these scriptures, the Most High requires for us to do what? Pay that back. You got brothers that are soldiers, right? Well, you're meant to now give more effort than the trooper, right? Be more mindful of things that's needed, your duty, right, than the other man. But the Most High requires that. You said that. You took the test. So if it's talking about now dealing with school duties, you're supposed to be there. You're supposed to be locked in, not saying, I don't have enough time. I got some other things to take care of. Okay, you don't understand the vow that you took. You didn't understand that was you and the Father in regards to the ministry.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we overlook that. Yeah. Very important.
Yeah, it's interesting what you said, because it's like, it's the same dynamic with Moses when he came out with those tablets. He just wrote down what the Most High said, and he read it out to the people in the audience. We just read down what the Most High had Job, what he had a brother write down for Esther, what he had David write, what he had Solomon write, what he had Jeremiah, Ezekiel. We just read down what he had them in the spirit write to give us understanding as we go about this life. So this is a requirement that we cannot defer from. You see that?
hello?
Oh, yeah, you fall out. Right, but that's what the Most High shows, right? But read on.
Better is it that thou shouldest not vow than that thou shouldest vow and not pay.
Right, not pay. Be careful. That's why he's saying be careful, so that you don't cause demons to come in your house and come on you. Go to Ecclesiastes. Jump to verse 5. Verse 5. My bad.
Verse 5. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 1.
Oh no, you left 5 and 4. My bad. Go to 5 and 1. 5 and 1.
Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of God.
And that's why the Most High is saying, watch yourself, slow down. And that's why I said in the previous point, be swift to hear, slow to speak, so your life can be sincere. Read.
And be more ready to hear
than
to give the sacrifice of fools.
But this is also the solution to where you don't fall into the situation where you start saying things that you can't keep. This is the solution. You have to be more ready to hear. So when you come to the Most High's house, you can't just be saying, you can't just spouting at the side of the mouth. You can't just be it's talking on the side of your neck, right? Cutting chickens you can't eat, can't cook. Right? But read on.
And be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools.
Right, the sacrifice of a fool is somebody that lack knowledge, that is telling themselves that, oh, I can do this, I'm ready to do this, I'm able to do this, but not being real with themselves, with the reality of what their actions are showing, that they're not ready yet. And then now when they do it, they start decommitting, but they try to make it seem like it's a thing between them and the brothers, or like somebody's forcing them, or somebody's tricking them. Or y'all didn't say that originally. Brothers didn't tell me that originally. That I didn't know that was a vow. I didn't know that was an agreement. I didn't know when I vowed the vow, because I know I vowed, but I didn't know I was supposed to click the water star off every time. I didn't know I was supposed to be ready to set up the cameras. I didn't know I was supposed to at least be in class like maybe 10 minutes early so I could make sure everything's organized. When you made that commitment between you and the Father. He just had you had a verbal he just made sure you had an accountability partner, which is the brother. That's what the priest is. That's what the brothers and sisters are. So jump to verse 5. Oh no, finish that, my bad.
Come. For they consider not that they do evil.
Yeah, they don't consider that they do evil. And then you stacking up sins, and you don't even know you're stacking up sins. But let's go to this last point. It says the Lord is requiring Israel to pay. Because like I said earlier, you're in spiritual debt. You're in spiritual debt, and the Most High is not going to just let you get away. But He's going to put you in a position where you can pay. Go to Psalms 50 and 14. Well, no, go to on this. Go to Ecclesiastes 14:11, and then go to Luke 14:27. Luke 14:27. So y'all can keep that Psalms 50 and 14 in there. Y'all can keep that written down. Right? Ecclesiastes 14:11. So this is where the Most High is at with us now. In this service, in this walk, in this duty. This is what He wants us to do. Read.
Ecclesiastes chapter 14, verse 11.
Right?
My son, according to thy ability, do good to thyself.
Let thy life be sincere. Don't be rash with your speech, because it'll put you in a bad, sticky situation. Let your life be sincere. Right? Do good by you let your life be sincere by doing good to yourself. Be careful what you say. Be careful what you commit to. Right? Don't let your mind wander into daydreaming, and now you start being in a negative thoughts. And now the requirements become an issue for you. The requirements shouldn't become an issue. It's just that you have to attack that weaknesses. So do good to yourself, read. But how do you do good to yourself? What is the good? Is it be self-centered? What's the scripture going to say? Read.
And give the Lord His due offering.
That's giving the Lord His due offering. You got to give the Lord what you owe Him. He brought you in. He says, in Romans chapter 12, He says, offer up your body as a living sacrifice, but then it ends out and say, it's your reasonable service. It's your reasonable service because he saved us from death. The word is not a mystery to you anymore. Right? It shouldn't. It shouldn't be a mystery to you anymore. You should now be locking in and be willing to give the Most High what's His. So let's go to Luke chapter 14, verse 27. Which is what? Read.
Luke chapter 14, verse 27. And whosoever does not bear his cross.
Right. The Most High wants us to now. The vow that we in is that when Christ woke us up, gave us the knowledge, and you accepted it, your life now is in your body, your temple is for the Father. So your life, when you wake up every day, is supposed to be dedicated to the Most High. You have kids, your kids supposed to be dedicated to the Most High, like Hannah did with Samuel. Right? You got a rib, she's supposed to be dedicated to the Most High, like Abraham with his family. You got yourself. You're supposed to be learning to dedicate yourself like Elisha did when he became a pupil of Elijah. Right? Like Paul, when the Most High sparked him and woke him up to the knowledge. Right? The real service. Read.
And come after me.
And you're supposed to what?
Come after me.
You're supposed to chase the Father now. So you're supposed to chase the Spirit. You chase him by asking questions. You chase him by asking, hey, what do I need to work on? What goals should I be setting? Because I know we got brothers writing what goals they got for themselves for the next 2 months. You will say, okay, well, damn, I don't quite know what goals to put down. Could you help me? Could you assist me? And you get that assistance so that you can learn how to bear your cross, read, which is your responsibility in the service, read.
Cannot be my disciple.
And if you're not doing that, you can't be the Most High disciple because you're not paying what you vowed. When you said, I'm an Israelite, right? Don't call me black no more. I'm an Israelite. Kids Lamar don't even know what he said on that track. He thought he was spitting bars. He thought he was just making a hot line for a dope album, right? Called Down. That's what he thought. But little did he know, when he made that statement, he basically committed to the vow. Right? So his words, his own hit record, gonna speak against him if you don't get right. Read.
For which of you, intending to build a tower, instead of knock down first? So you're intending to build a tower. You're intending to be an Israelite, right? You're intending to relearn your culture. And what I mean by intending to be an Israelite is because you're an Israelite by birth only, right? But you're intending to really learn how to live like your forefather Aaron, your forefather Moses, your foremother Sarah and Rebecca. You're intending to live like these individuals, so you're supposed to count the cost by looking at their life and look how they gave themselves. And then we're supposed to be in the Gospels looking at how the apostles gave themselves, how Phoebe gave herself, how Mary Magdalene did a full switch, right? 180. Oh, 180. Yeah. Like it's 360 if you turn all the way around. Right? I gotta stop saying that. Be saying that because you don't want to go back, right? Full 180. Mary Magdalene. We got to see that. They switched because why? They picked up their cross and they buried it. They accepted all the trials and tribulations. They accepted the pressure that will come with being a disciple of Christ.
They accepted the Father's ways.
Yeah.
They recognized that His ways were going to lead them to exactly what they wanted, and their ways was lead them to death.
Right. And that's through the what? Through their pride, through their ego, through their laziness. And we know spirits look like frogs, so those things sprout out to so many different other things. So, but did you finish that? Oh, go ahead.
And count the cost, whether he has sufficient to finish it.
And why is it saying it that way? That's saying is to be cautious on what you commit to. Be cautious on what you're saying. And understand that you've already been called to do this service. Understand that this is when you woke up, you already made this vow. So you should start now finding out how to build yourself up. You should find out now what it's going to take to be built up. And you should be sticking, and you should be daily working at that thing, working at those things. And that's what the Most High is saying. And He wants us, when Christ comes back, to at least have done what? You got 20,000 you owe the Lord? You at least get it down to 5,000. With spiritual alms, with alms deeds. You don't even need physical money. He just wants your spirit and your time and your mind and your effort. He wants your desire, your intention, your sincerity, and your honesty. That's all He wants. Right? And He wants to see you live happy. He's doing all this because He wants to see brothers and sisters live happy. That's all it is. I mean, we said all these things about the fight against this, fight against that. I'm like, think about the things that's being enlightened or brought to your attention. We're just talking about doing the things the right way. So that you could be happy. So that you could be at peace. So that you can, when we go to rest, you know that you left a spiritual inheritance for your children. You left them knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to be stable throughout life. That, let's say Christ's going to come back 20, 30 years down the road. Or longer than that, right? Your kids are prepared to give their kids what they need to get through the times, because time's only going to get harder. So you got to think about the future. And that's what it's saying. Think about the future. Think about what you sacrifice now. It'll be an alms these stored up in treasures for you in heaven. So when Christ comes back, you meet Him in peace. You don't meet Him with the sword and the angels then chopping you up, or then fire blowing you down, or tearing you apart. You know, we don't want to be torn apart by fire or sword. And then wake up, and then we in darkness, we in that pit, with that hellfire. And you're like, damn. If I would have just if I would have did that, if I would have never played with, if I would have never entertained this, and we had the coulda, shoulda, woulda. So let's try killing that coulda, shoulda, woulda spirit. But that's class. I don't know if anybody had any questions.
Got questions, man? Huh?
It's early.
Right, we ain't gonna be here tomorrow.
Right?
We do this, man. Do this till 11, man. But no, good class. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions online? Brothers and sisters online, any questions? I'm trying to take the mic.
No.
Right. Real quick announcements for those that follow Stream of Wisdom. Right. You say that you congregate. This is a school of choice.
Yeah.
You know, Kazakia drops fire classes. Quatazak drops fire classes. Lakarab, Shatak, all those brothers, Bakar, Arya, Shaquat. You know, if you say that you Shamswan, Banaba, or Shamswan, Awar. You have we also got Dawiyad, Eliashai, all those great men. You got the Blog Talk Radio, Mashaba, Banaba, shout out Tazapah, all brothers. We are having our blowing of the trumpets on October the 2nd, which is going to be Wednesday next week. So plan ahead if you're there. There's multiple feast days this month, so you have the opportunity to at least make one. We have the blowing of the trumpets. Right, we have Day of Atonement on the 10th, right? And then we have the start of Feast of Tabernacles. Yeah, I got the dates. Then we got the Feast of Tabernacles starting on the 16th, right?
Atonement is 11.
Oh, Atonement's 11, one day off. Right? Don't even got to look at it. Look at it, October 16th. But still, October 16th through the 23rd, we're going to be up there at the campsite, getting it in. It's going to be nice, though. Don't you worry about it. It's going to be cool. You see, it's already cool outside, so you're going to be good. Good food. You know, come and congregate. You know, if you watch online, you never came in person. We're real people. You know, we do this for real, right? This ain't something where it's like, are they even really real?
Right.
You know? So some people may be shorter than what you think, taller than what you think. That could be a little bit taller.
Right.
But you would never know that if you didn't come around. You know, so support, man. You know, adhere to what the scripture says.
Right.
Right, which is to do what? Gather together. You know, and these are the feast days that the Lord said He wanted us to be around. Feast of Tabernacles, First Fruit, right, and Passover. You know, so if you want to get real law-abiding, those feast days are coming up.
Yeah.
If you want to support, we greatly appreciate the help, the love. You can send to our Cash App. Unfortunately, we can't change the name, but it's ISBHBK donations on Cash App. Listen, those alms are going to rent. They're going to supporting the schools when it comes to electricity, whatever it might be. You know, please give. We got a lot of things coming up. We have our businesses, Chosen Creations. You can find it on Etsy. You can find it on Facebook. You can find it on Instagram. They're doing fabulous work. The sisters and the brothers that's dedicated to that. Kazakia, quick shout out, Shariah. Shariah, I heard doing leveling up in her skills. I ain't gonna give it away. Her artistry, you know, but it's needed because it's about artificer. You know, growing up under the artificer.
Right.
You know, it's only meant for her to move forward like that. It's beautiful. Yeah. Marwella, Shalamai, Shawashana, Rakama, Amawana. All the sisters out there. Listen, sisters here doing great things. We got some stuff coming up from out here that brothers and sisters will be interested in. So just support, man. You know, this is a family based, and I don't even want, I guess you can call it organization that the Most High is building.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're all family, if you want to get technical. The Most High is bringing back the best family in the world. So be a part of it. Be a part of it through the unity. Be a part of it through the long suffering and the patience. That's where real relationships grow. You know, in these moments that causes you now to apply the wisdom to get through, to now understand, man, there was beauty on the back end. You know, instead of just looking at the situation, I don't want to deal with that.
Right.
Nah, this right here is going to be forever in what the Most High is trying to instill in us. So, the water for all those that support. With that, brothers, Kadash, if you can. Did I miss anything else? Diddy isn't a follower of Christ, but man, listen, all these cats say they believe in Jesus. They say it though, you know. We know that. We know these cats are satanic, you know, and that's why they coming down, you know. So don't be overly distracted with the things on YouTube and Facebook and what's hitting the news. really focus on your spirit. I mean, these things are showing the righteous and those that are awoke that the end is near.
Yeah.
Like, you got these heavyweight stars coming down. So what does that mean? You better get your spirit right. Right? You better start fasting. You better start disciplining yourself. Right? Like you were saying, store up those good works when Christ returns so that now we can be rendered those rewards. So, with that, we're going to say, may the Most High be with you, Godspeed. With that, we're going to say shalom.
Shalom.